Welcome back to TokyoFresh. I'm your host, Jordan. I'm here with David.
Hello.
I had a mouthful of fucking coffee.
Did it again.
No, it's been a long time since I've been taking drinks of coffee before it's my turn to open and such. But
Speaking of drinks,
go on.
we should have been drinking today, but it is kind of early. I
It's
don't
like-
think drinking before. It is not even 12 yet.
Yeah, it's
Drinking
not even
before
12.
12 is a little bit of a fucking dire situation,
Yeah,
but
a little degenerate. But,
it's
maybe.
episode 200.
Do you know what? If I wasn't doing things later today, I would definitely crack
Right.
a ridiculous
Fair
amount of
enough.
bevies. Next week. There's always next week.
There's
And the week
always
after that.
next week.
There's always next. This was fucking next week, boy. But guys, welcome. 200th episode. Excited to be here. Been doing this for a long time. David's face is like
It's more than that, but yeah.
more than 200th episode. Thank you for the listeners who've been listening
The
for this long.
200th episode we actually give a shit about.
Oh, 100%. Thank you guys for listening for all these years. It's been a very fun time.
yeah, fuck. It's
It's been a while.
I remember episode 100.
Oh, yeah, dude.
When we were still in my old house recording up against the wall and eating fucking chicken wings.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was good times.
It's a shame that like we didn't get to do something like that again. But like I part of that falls on me just not doing planning too much beforehand
That's
to
true.
figure something out.
That's chill. It's always I always find with like milestones and stuff, I think we're both like guilty of letting them sort of pass over.
Yeah, even with like the viewership of the channel, I think it was like, you know, when we hit like 100 or like 1,000, I was like, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Now I'm like, we're up another 10,000. Yeah, who gives a fuck? Right? Like it gets to a point where you're just like, oh, it's just like another number. Like I don't give a shit.
The numbers increase in very strange increments. I think
Right.
on Instagram the increments go. It's like 100. Your first 100 is crazy. You're like, oh my god, I have 100, and then it's 1,000. That's a big number to get to.
Right.
Then after 1,000, it jumps so much. It's like
It is like by a factor of 10, right?
Yeah,
It's
so
100, it's 1,000,
yeah.
10,000,
Yep.
100,000. You're like, oh, 100,000. And then after that, you're like, you know, like 500,000,
500,000, then a million. Yeah. Those are like
Right.
the weird increments that people like get excited about when you're growing like on social media. I think Instagram is also like you get excited at 5 and you get excited at like 8, I think it is. And then like 10, and from there you're like, okay, now the next one is like 20. Or
Now I
100.
just don't care.
Dude, if only. I care so much. It's fun watching numbers go up, and it's fun watching like I think it's less of like for us as well. It's less of like how many people are following, and more like it's fun to watch the community grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like the more people come into the chat, the more people that come into the Discord, it becomes like a really like chaotic place, to, like just like exist, and that's really fun. I really enjoy that.
you know, it was funny. Someone sent me a message after last week's episode. They're like, "Oh, sorry, I was talking too much in chat," and I'm like, "No, like,
Oh no.
no, talk more
No.
because like that just adds to the experience. in
Yeah,
my
yeah,
opinion,
yeah.
Right? It's more interesting
That's
if there's
funny.
people actually interacting with what you're doing rather than just talking to the void. Not that we wouldn't do that anyway, because
100%.
people listen to the audio version and all that stuff. But
It's a fun live experience when you're
yeah,
in the chat
exactly.
as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a reason why we run it live. If we didn't care enough to run it live to like have like a live interaction with people, then you just wouldn't fucking do it.
It's funny. We're actually gonna stick to audio for a long time, but then like a lot of people are like, "You should do it live. Like you should stream this.
Right.
You should stream this." Well, I might as well then. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's pretty good. Bless yourself.
So,
Go on, David.
episode 200.
Mm-hmm.
What specifically do we want to talk about? Do we want to take like maybe we want to take like a look back a little bit? Like it's been 200 episodes.
Yeah.
I probably remember 3 of them. The latest 3 we've done.
The last 3 weeks.
The last 3 we've done.
More
Yeah,
than
yeah,
that, but yeah.
exactly, right. And even then it's like, oh, we talked about 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. So it's interesting to me. I think I would be more interested to know what people who are caught up or what people who are fans are like, oh yeah, this episode was really good. Because like in my, like Jay mentioned, he's like, oh, I remember the fucking penis inspection stand episode.
Excellent
like,
episode.
That's like episode like fucking 5.
Excellent episode. Yeah.
And yeah, we did record it at Jordan's house.
Yep. That's when like everything was at my house basically.
Yeah, that was a long. That
was years ago. That was before
fucking time. That was
the
before
start
COVID.
that was before COVID. Yeah, just before COVID.
It must have been way before. Not way before, but it was like before COVID.
Yeah, like right before is when we started basically.
Yeah,
ridiculous. Oh yeah. The music episode was good as well. Like it would be fun to have like there were certain like episodes would love to do, but the problem is we're always limited by the platforms in which the episode goes up in.
Right. The music episode is like I think that the music episode is one of the only old episodes that's not up on YouTube, just based solely on the fact that it has at least 80 copyright claims on it.
I remember you put it up on YouTube, and I'm like on the train or something going home, and you're like, oh, the episode has 80 copyright claims, and I'm like, what? It's been up for 3 seconds. You're
yeah. It's like it was almost
like,
so. Hey, YouTube, your copyright idea is working real great because it had like 80 fucking copyright notices on it. And at that point, I'm just like, there's more copyright notices on this than I am willing to fucking deal with. So it can just
no.
Why,
audio only.
Like that episode is dead.
There's I think I always find that's like the biggest problem with like the platform you're using on, because if your platform decides to limit the way that you can like release the content or make the content,
right,
it kind of ruins like.
Well, and that's a problem with currently with Spotify, because Spotify. So we're hosted on Anchor, but Spotify bought Anchor about a year ago, and Anchor used to have a deal with Spotify called like Music and Talk, where you could play anything without getting copyrighted on Spotify's platform, and they wouldn't copyright you so long as you flagged it as that type of thing. Yeah. But as of this year, I think recently or coming up, like pretty soon, they're getting rid of that option, so you can't do it anymore. So I've noticed a lot of people are like, hey, I was running my my music podcast about music, about licensed music that you talk about, right? Like if I want to review an album that just came out.
How do I do this?
Now I can't. I'm fucked. So.
It's actually really funny. So think about this. So what's happening is TikTok's removed their... Who was it? TikTok's parent company. Not parent company, sorry. There was a Universal Music. Had a deal with like TikTok where like they would like you could like the license their music to the app basically.
Was it UMG?
Universal Music I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
But then they've removed that licensing because they want like more money or something like that. So the big like calamity there with like music reviewers and stuff can't use that platform anymore to like review music. Then you have like, okay, I'll do it on podcast form instead. Can't do that because Spotify's moving that as well. It's like, okay, cool. In that case, I'll do it on YouTube. Lol, good luck. Yeah, because you can't do it there instead. So now the question is, where do I discover new music?
It's not even like where do I discover new music? It's like where do I fucking talk about music now?
Oh, you don't.
You don't.
You don't.
You can't. You can't. It's like I feel for people like Anthony Fantano, where he like he like reviews, because like he's never played any of the music in his reviews, and that is 100% solely based off YouTube policies of where he can't play anything. Music in an episode. Otherwise, it gets claimed.
Dude, it's the stupidest fucking thing. There was a thing where I think the artist for a time was made to create like buzzworthy content or like clickbaity content on TikTok and Instagram in order to like promote new albums that were coming out and stuff. So what they'll do is like they'll make like some kind of video, then they'll repost it. They'll just like repost the video, or they'll make a video, post it, let it go out for a couple of days, post the same video again, because it will reach a different audience every time you post it on TikTok. And then TikTok adding on to like this bullshit was basically like, no, we've decided that you can't post the same video twice. So if you try it, they'll be like, well, you can post it, but this video is like not allowed to be seen on like the main page. Right. So it will never like get traction basically. So like a lot of these social media apps, especially when it comes to music, for some reason are just like clamping down for no reason on this stuff. Like I've been looking into it this weekend. It's kind of like ridiculous.
I have to wonder like why you would do that, because it's clearly a feature that your users enjoy
and need
using. Not that they necessarily need 100%, but in some cases, yes. Yeah. But then you're just chop blocking them right at the knees. It's like, why would you do that?
One, it's probably greed, to be fair. It's always like
it all comes back to money.
It's always the distribution company basically being like, we don't want you to distribute this thing because blah blah blah. We want money basically. Right. I think Japanese and anime distributors have the exact same problem, where like there is so much red tape connected to the distribution of anime, that a lot of like anime YouTubers have their entire content blocked in Japan because it basically
There's some like, because I do another podcast about Kamen Rider, and Kamen Rider is owned by like Bandai and Toei or whatever, right? So like there'll be a lot of times where we want to talk about a specific clip or something, and the other people that are doing the show with me are like, here, like let's look at this YouTube clip, and I go, it's banned in my country.
I can't
watch it.
I'm not free.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to watch this clip.
I can't watch the media in the country of origin
of the media.
for some reason.
Dude, it's the dumbest things. Like a lot of it's a lot of work to like get licensing needed to like what's it called, to show the anime on like YouTube or something,
right?
Or to even just talk about it. So
I know like even this is something else entirely, but it's a similar situation where like VTubers have to consult with game companies before they're allowed to stream their game on the thing, and that's solely based on the fact that they're a corporate employee. That's so weird. Like I could only imagine like, oh, I need to contact Square Enix to see if I can play Final Fantasy. Like what the fuck?
What the fuck, dude? Honestly, the problem is, I don't understand. It's very prevalent in Japan as well.
Yeah,
and I don't understand. I don't understand. It's because a lot of old people are in the top positions at the company still.
Right.
They don't realize like the power of like some guy in his room playing fucking Helldivers 2 at 3 a.m.
You're stealing my IP.
Why you taking my content? You don't understand. Like, you can release, like, for a company, Helldivers 2, for example. Let's take those. Helldivers 2 had, I assume they had an entire campaign about this game where they released, like, advertisements, and they released, I guess, like, some kind of, they made a YouTube channel, I assume, and they put stuff on it, and they put things on Twitter, and they put stuff on it, and they... blah blah blah, and they put ads on TV. I don't know.
The Helldivers 2 actually does a really neat thing where like because everyone is working toward like a similar goal. They have like their Twitter releases like a newscast.
Fuck yeah, dude! It's so
like
cool.
an in-universe newscast
So
of like
good.
how the war effort's going. Super Earth,
dude. So fucking smart, dude.
Super Earth.
Wait, Helldivers 2, bad example because their social media strategy kind of fucking sick. Other game that's come out, like the new one. What's the new game that came out recently this week? It's Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy came out.
7, yeah.
Yes, okay. 7 came out. All this social media stuff came out about it. I assume.
Yeah.
I saw nothing about this game until one of my colleagues was like, "Oh, this game's coming out, and I'm taking a day off to play it." And I was like, "That's pretty funny." And then I forgot about it. And then I log on Twitch, and someone's playing it on Twitch, and I'm like, "Oh, that's right. This game came out. Let me watch it for a couple minutes and see if it's a game that I actually want to play." And then I'd watch it and I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe this is a game I don't want to play. It looks pretty entertaining. It looks pretty fun. But like for me and like for a lot of people like in our generation below, that's the way I find out if I want to play a game.
See, I feel like you are maybe not in the Final Fantasy zeitgeist
Oh,
per
no.
se.
Oh, not at all.
Because people have been talking about Tifa's fucking swimsuit for like months.
Lord have mercy on these people's souls, honestly. Like you guys, Kumas, come on guys. Get it together.
What are you talking about? We're beating back the woke brigade.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
is that what's happening?
Is that what you tell yourself?
Is that what you tell yourself? Fucking.
I mean, in a way, kind of. In a weird, strange way, kind of, because there are so many like Western companies who are like hyper against sexualizing any kind of character anyway, anytime, right? So like having a character appear in a main storyline in a swimsuit, it's like
we've done it, boys.
yeah,
freedom. The male gaze is once again powerful. We've done it, boys.
And listen, we can see.
Listen, we're gazing, boys. Glasses on, boys. We gazing.
Yeah.
Dark shades on, boys. So they can't see our eyes.
To be fair, games made in Japan, so you know.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, a little bit. Speaking of, it's a really dumb thing I saw on Twitter. I found it really, really fucking funny. So I'm scrolling on Twitter, and this is like a complete different topic entirely. So I'm like, you mentioned Twitter. It's come back to me. I was scrolling Twitter a couple of days ago, and I saw this comment, and the post goes, oh, I've been hearing a lot about white privilege in Japan. Have you seen this?
Oh, I think I might have seen this
The
morning.
karate dude.
Yeah.
I was pissing myself laughing. The guy goes, oh my god, he goes, I've heard a lot about this complaints about white privilege in Japan. Pause. Who? I've never heard about this, but I've not heard anyone talking about it. Forgive me.
I have literally never ever heard anyone say anything about it
ever. But I was like, okay.
I'm sure people talk about it.
I'm sure it comes up in conversation. I'm sure it's a topic of conversation occasionally.
Somewhere.
But so much so that you need to make like a weird ranting post about it. Vibes. Okay, you do you. But he goes, I heard there's a lot of conversation about white privilege in Japan. Well, I'm a white guy. I'm paraphrasing now, but I'm a white guy.
I think it might actually be on the top of my Twitter thing right now.
It's basically like, I'm a white guy, and I do karate. When I'm in karate, hey, listen, they beat me up. They don't hold back their punches. I get kicked. I get karate done. I get punched. Where's the white privilege for me at karate? And I'm like, sir, teacher, sir, that's not what white privilege is. What the fuck are you talking about?
A fundamental misunderstanding of what they're actually talking about.
Mental misunderstanding. Dude, I was like confused, and then I was laughing. Then I read it again, and I was like, does this guy not understand like what?
Like it's funny because like in some ways I kind of agree with him, but it's for the completely fucking wrong
reason. Like the complete wrong reason. Like I think he just really wanted to talk about karate, and he's like, God, I want to talk about karate so badly, but I don't have but I just spoke about karate. I need a new reason to talk about karate. He's like, fuck, that's a good idea. I read an article about white privilege in Japan. Yosh, how can I tie this into Shotokan karate somehow?
It's like talking about how difficult it is to be black in Japan because there's too many karaage shops.
No, literally, it's like that. It's like yeah,
sure, but that's not the reason.
You gotta good point. Bad execution. I'm not sure where you're going here, my boy. Like
mission failed successfully.
Mission failed fucking successfully, dog.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. I'm just like, what are you talking? Yeah, I'm just like,
I like typed out an entire response because I was like, this is really stupid, and then I was like, actually, no, I will not be a part of this conversation. You know, when something's so stupid, you're like, I'm not gonna get involved in this. That was me in that conversation. I was like, I'm not gonna get involved in this. This is too stupid. I can't be a part of this. But I was like, what I will do is talk about it with David on the podcast because I found it really funny.
I did read it this morning at like 3 a.m. and I specifically remember.
Honestly,
I remember it was mostly up its own ass because it had a black and white fucking photo too.
Yes, that's what caught my eye. I was like, who the fuck's posting black and white photos of karate? Who the fuck do you think you are? You know,
it's a little bit goofy.
What are you, a Baki character? Fuck off, mate. It's like, don't worry, I'm gonna grayscale this photo.
It also had tinges of back in my day.
No, yeah. Oh, dude, yeah. You can feel it. Back in my day, we all knew our place. It's like, all right, Gramps. I got a nice grave dug out for you if you want to line it for a minute. Absolute degenerate. But it was not gonna lie, it was pretty fucking funny.
I can't find it again. But I do remember coming across it.
Dude, it got
wait, hang on. I remember seeing this post about Michael Jackson relatively close to it, but maybe I'm wrong.
Jackson? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not touching the fucking barge.
We're going to go way off topic here.
You're fine.
So you had mentioned to me before that you wanted to maybe talk a little bit, like maybe because we've got a lot of questions that we want to talk about, but you had mentioned before, like, oh, maybe we want to talk about like things that we've learned in Japan
in our time in Nihon.
Yeah, living here specifically.
Yeah.
Do you have anything specific that you were thinking of?
Oh my god, you have so much. Okay, I have one main one that I think is like the most important.
I also have one main one, so I think that'll work out.
My main one's more about work than anything else. I think work like shigoto. So I think I have all the people in our friend group, maybe outside of Sean, because Sean's done a lot of like random jobs in Japan as well. I found that like in working in Japan, how do I start this actually? Hold on. Okay, here we go. there are various ways to get into the country. Okay, and the easiest way to do it is English teaching. It's the quickest way to get in. It's the easiest way to get in. It's the way that the majority of people, so including us,
The bar of entry is
staggeringly low.
I say the bar of entry is low, but you do have to do some fucking legwork before you get here. Like you do have to go get a university degree.
You do.
That's for most places that'll hire you. That is unavoidable, right? So I mean, there is that. You do have to do some work.
Yes,
but after that, it doesn't feel like there's a lot that you really
have to do. It's pretty easy to get in. Then my thing I said in like a previous episode, and I definitely want to reiterate here a little bit, is that your final goal cannot be just to live in Japan. Like, it can't be that. Your final goal can't be, I'm going to live in Japan. It can be one of your goals along the way, but if your final goal is to live in Japan, the second you get here, you'll stagnate because you have nothing else to do next, basically. So, like, something I've been telling a lot of people in my DMs especially is, especially now during the season, people like graduating, people are like saying to me stuff like, oh, I've just graduated. They've just graduated. I want to come live in Japan. What do you think? And I'm always like, do you want to live here for a year and then go back? Are you just doing it for the experience? Or like, what's your plan? And for some of them, it's like, just want to come for a year, want to hang out for a bit, want to see what Japan's about, then want to go back.
5 years later, you're still here.
5 years later, you'll still be here because it's an easy place to live. I get it. But for those guys, and they're like, I just want to live here for a while, then go back. I'm like, okay, fair enough. If you want to come right now, you want to jump in the English teaching route, where you have like an abundance of time, go for it. Do it. You know, have a good time.
Might as well, right?
Might as well. Yeah, fuck it. But there are certain people who are like, I'm going to live in Japan forever. And I'm always like, what's your degree? What did you study? And the next question is normally, how much Japanese do you speak? Like, what's your level? And if they're coming in to be like English teachers, I'm always like, is your degree teaching? And if they're like, no, I'm like, how's your Japanese? If they're like, oh, it's like 0, I'm like, what are you going to do here? Right? Because if your degree isn't teaching, it's going to be really hard for you to get into an international school, into like another teaching job.
If it isn't in teaching?
Yeah. They want to teach.
Okay, that's if it is in teaching.
Oh,
that's
no.
the opposite.
If it isn't in teaching,
yeah,
you cannot. I could not get a job in an international school.
It depends. It depends.
No, it depends, of course.
As a person who's worked at an international school,
no.
It depends.
No, it definitely
depends what job you're doing at the international
100%.
school.
If you want to be a janitor in an international school, go for it.
Not janitor, but you can be a lot of international schools have like teacher's assistant for lower grades.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
You can do that, and they make a comparable wage to the T1 teacher.
That's pretty good. That's not bad. But like, if you want to be like but if you want like, you know what I mean? Substantial career growth in like areas.
If you actually legitimately like teaching, do you want to be a teacher's aide forever?
No, of course not.
Probably
like,
not.
Don't be silly. So then like, a lot of it's basically being like, how long do you want to live here for? If the answer is forever, maybe like work in your field a little bit in your home country and then come to Japan with that experience. So you can actually like move to a different career when it's time to move to a different career. Because I think there was someone who came a little while ago and I forgot the degree was in. The degree was something to like something Japan trade or whatever. And they came to Japan as like a teacher. They were here for like a year. And they were like, okay, I've been here for a year. I'm now going to work in like Japan trade. And they tried to work for like a Japanese company. Japanese company was basically like, what? Why are we hiring you? Like,
right.
You have a degree in like this trade thing we're doing, but like you have 0 experience. You've taught English for a year. Cool. You've got a visa. That's great. You speak pretty good Japanese. Amazing. We can offer you entry level position, less money than you made working as a teacher.
Yeah, there's as a man who's like, I'm looking for jobs now, right? And as a man who's looking for jobs, there are so many jobs that just like do not respect your fucking time.
Oh no.
It's like there'll be jobs asking you like do 40-hour work weeks for like 160,000 yen.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Like the equivalent of like $1,600.
Oh yeah.
For a 40-hour work week is like
absolute
for a month. Not if you're making $1,600 a week. Oh, that's great.
No, it's a month.
You're making it a month, right?
It's insane, like,
yeah. No, fuck that.
So my whole thing was, if you're gonna come to Japan, like for one thing, I'm always like, make sure you have like your expectations limited, but then also have the experience for that when you do come to the country, you can jump jobs when you need to, when you want to. And then like the second thing was know when to jump jobs is really important. I think I was teaching in Interact for like 2.5 years. I want to say. I think it was 2.5 years, 3 years.
You got out before me. I think I stayed.
I got out for everyone. Yeah.
I stayed on a year longer, but that was only because I was still in before COVID started.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm just like, well, collect a paycheck during COVID. Like, what? Yeah, you were probably a year out a year before me.
Yeah, I think it was like.
And I stayed there 4. You might have been 2.5, 3.
I think I was like 2.5, 3. Then I was like, I'm out. Bye, guys, and I dipped. But like, it's very important to know like when to dip and then have like a secondary thing set up. But I've always said that if you think like the company you're working for is trash, it's probably trash. There are probably better companies. There are so many institution companies like it's always like worth like dipping. And one of my friends in the UK is kind of going through the same thing where they want to like leave their job, but they're scared about like secondary employment. And that's even scary when you're in like another country, worried about like what the fuck you're gonna do next. Basically,
well, I mean, I feel that all the time.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Like at this point, it's been literally a year. Since I worked.
It's terrifying.
And it's like now I'm like, okay, well now I gotta find a job and then explain to them. It's like, why haven't you been working for a year? And my answer is, fuck you, none of your business.
Yeah.
But I can't really tell people that. I can't really say, fuck you, like I want to stay home.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, exactly.
They're gonna be like, well, it's always like this weird interrogative question of like, well, what have you been doing to improve yourself? Jack shit.
Chilling. Relax it. Hand-eye coordination efforts.
Right. Yeah. But like even then, it there's no way to make that look good. No, like regardless of what you tell them, like you can fancy that bullshit up and be like, oh well, I was doing stuff freelance and blah blah blah, right? But realistically, the answer to that question should be none of your fucking business. Like, here's my resume. Do you want to hire me? Yes or no?
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is, it's how it works, which is very irritating.
Annoying.
Yeah,
right.
But it is what it is, you know. But then when it comes to like jumping jobs and stuff, it's as difficult and like scary as it is in Japan. I've always told people like the reason you came to Japan, if it wasn't like if teaching wasn't your passion, you had another passion of coming here. After you've worked for a year, try and jump to that passion as soon as possible. Like honestly, like the quicker you start trying to do that, the better for everyone, honestly. Because there are people who have like started teaching in like Interact or whatever company they first came in. I know there's a guy in like Shikoku Island, like you know Shikoku, the Kochi and that stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a guy who's been there for like I think like it's gonna be 5-6 years now, and he's still there. And I was like talking to him a while ago, and I was like, "Are you still in the island?" He's like, "I'm still there." And I'm like, "Do you not want to leave?" And he's like, I've been here for too long." He's like trapped on this fucking island. He's like, I've been here for too long. He's like, I have roots here now. He's like, I can't.
Yeah, of course he doesn't want to move now.
He's like, if I leave, I'm going home. Like I'm going back to I think from like America or something. But he's like, if I leave, I'm going back to America because he's like, this is now where I live, basically.
Right. Like, I feel like that's where I'm at too.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's a really weird situation too, right? Being here as long as we have, because we're rapidly approaching 10 years.
Let's go, baby.
It's gonna be a while. But that being said, right? It's like I live here now. I have a wife here now.
Let's go.
You know, so to be like, oh well, you know, Japan's not actually your home. It's like, yes, it is.
No, yes, it
like,
is.
Yeah, yes,
no, yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
To be like, oh, you could always move back to Canada. It's like, yeah, I could, but that's starting at square one again. And like realistically, the only thing that's different is like now everyone speaks a language that I speak fluently.
Yep.
So
that's it.
Cool, like that helps. But like if I'm miserable here, I'm gonna be just as miserable back home, and the only thing that's gonna change is that I'll know why I'm miserable.
And it's cold as shit there as well. It's cold as fucking shit there as well.
So yeah, like I agree with you. You should probably pivot out of something you don't like to something you do like. Even if that job is, no, I was gonna say with a black company. You don't want to get in a black company.
Don't do that.
But even if that job is like something that you get in there and you're just like, this kind of fucking blows dicks. I don't want to do this, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
at the end of the day, you didn't like doing the previous job.
Mm.
You don't like doing this job.
Mm.
Most of the time, you're going to get paid more.
Yep.
So really, you've kind of side graded with more pay. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it just depends. Like,
I would say it's worth it though. It's worth jumping jobs to know what you like and don't like doing here.
Mhm.
Like I went from like teaching to like print media to like visual media to what I'm
Mhm.
doing now. But I never look back and go, oh, I shouldn't have worked there. I'm like, no, I'm glad I worked in print media. So I know that although I like print media, I like visual media better. And then jump to that. And then jumping there, I was like, oh, this is kind of what I like better. I like doing visual media better. Now it's time to find like a visual media company that I want to work. You know what I mean? Like you have to make those jumps to know like where you want to work. Basically, it's very peculiar situation to be in. I mean, it's the exact same thing you do in your home country. If you were living in your home country and you worked for something like, you would jump careers or jump jobs to find something that you enjoyed. Same thing in Japan. Only difference is everyone speaks that Nihongo, and also English, Japanese. Like
I don't know if that's
companies
true
are
or
less.
not.
Do you think so?
I think at home you'd be more likely
To not move.
to not move.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I think that is because back home there's not this thing of a visa looming over your head.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like back home, like you can just work at the same job forever and like not care. And if you lose that job, it's like you're not gonna kicked out of your own country.
Yeah, it's like whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But here there is an imperative that you have to have a job to stay in the country.
Oh yeah.
So it might as well be a job that you actually like doing.
No, yeah, exactly, yeah. No, yeah, I agree, 100%. Like, you have to work to stay in the country. Unless you're married or you have, like, PR or something, you've got to have a job to stay in the country. So, I agree. It might as well be one you like. Oh, good point, dude. I think if I was in the UK, I would work any job that pays well because I wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
No, you're right, 100%. Yeah, I wouldn't care because you can't kick me out. I live here.
Right, exactly.
So I'll be giving, like, minimal effort, like, 100%, like, all the time. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas there's always the fucking sword of Damocles hanging over your head where it's like, I need to make rent or I'm homeless. And then I'm homeless in a country where I'm not a citizen. And that's double bad.
Listen, you don't want that.
No,
you don't want
no.
that. David, what is your one piece of advice? David, that pen's gonna fucking explode.
I know it's gonna. Well, it's already kind of exploded. I'm just spinning it around.
Taking that shit away from me before the shit explodes everywhere.
Holy
shit! Go on.
My thing that I want to talk about is like a little bit twofold.
Go on.
On the one hand, a thing that I've like personally learned here that I think I had back home, but I didn't need to exercise as much until I moved here.
What's that?
Which is patience is a virtue.
Bro, it's a fucking virtue.
And there's a reason why it's a virtue in this country, especially because everything moves slow.
Yep.
And I think you just need to get used to that.
That is such honestly, that's such good advice because yeah, in the UK, same thing. I'd be like, get it done now. Like I go to the bank, for example. It's happened recently. I went to the bank and I was like, my PayPal doesn't work with my Utah account.
Yeah.
Fix it. And they're like, oh, it's gonna take 2 weeks. And I was like, huh? No, is this a bank or not? Fix it. Is this a bank or not? Get it done. What do you mean? Oh, we don't know. I'm in the bank for like an hour and a half. No one knows what the fuck's going on. Everyone's confused. And I'm like, why are you guys so confused? Get it done. Like, it's annoying. And you have to stand back and go, okay, this is normal here.
Right.
For some fucking reason.
Well, and that leads into my second point. I think it's kind of funny. Like, it is a point that comes straight of like the Miyamoto Musashi book, which is accept things the way they are and not the way that you see them.
Oh, that's very important. Yeah.
So I think we on the show do a lot of like bitching and moaning, complaining about like, why isn't this like this?
Yeah.
It would be more efficient like this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I think if you come to Japan, you kind of have to separate or divest yourself from the way that things used to work where you came from.
Oh, 100%. Oh,
Right.
100%.
Because if you are always comparing to back home, it's gonna just grate on you.
Oh yeah, of course.
So you just have to accept like things are the way they are. It's like you don't have to understand why they are that way, but you do have to accept that they are that way.
Yeah. Like I was doing my I did freelance work last year, but last financial year, and I was like, oh, I got to do taxes now. I got to like file these taxes in place. And I'm talking to someone in the base like, oh, you got to file these by like March 15th, whatever, and you've got to file it in this way in this method. You got to make sure you have these documents. And I'm like, God damn, like, what the fuck? I need all this stuff. It's not even like that much money, but only because it peaked over the cap.
Right. So now you have to file.
So you have to file it.
Shit.
So I'm like, yo, this isn't automatic. I gotta do it myself. This is insane. I gotta make an appointment to go down there. That's crazy. But as I'm sitting here and going like, yo, that's crazy. That's wild. What the fuck? I'm making an appointment. I'm on the internet. I'm like, where is my local tax agency to make an appointment? Like I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Book appointment for this date at this time. Like you can whine about it. You can be like, that's wild. That's crazy. Oh my God, I can't believe it's this way in Japan. Why is Japan like this? That's completely okay. But get it done.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you still have to do it.
You still got to do it. I'm very much in the method of you can complain, but get it done while you're complaining. So I'll be like, yo, this sucks, but I'm still in line. I'm still waiting because I got to get it done. I live here.
I mean, hey, I'll wonder to the high heaven why shit is not digitized literally everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
But I still have to know how to do the non-digital stuff until it changes.
Eventually, one day it will change, but until then, you're kind of fucked, you know?
So, yeah, like, accept that, like, this is the way Japan works, right? Whether you like it or not, you are here now for however long that you're going to be here. If you're here for a year, you're here for a year. If you're here till you fucking die, well, then you better definitely get with the fucking program.
Yeah.
And just go with it. Like it's very. I don't want to say like, oh, you need to become Japanese because that's fucking weird. No, but you need to, in a sense, accept that at some level in your life, you just have to be Japanese.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like you just have to go. Okay. Japanese people would do this. All the other Japanese people have to fucking do this. I gotta do it too.
Yeah. So at a certain point, it's not about being Japanese or not. It's about the country you live in and the weird systems they're using. It's like it's the same if you lived in Spain or like so you were like from America, you moved to Spain or Germany or Russia or whatever. Like they're gonna use systems different ones you're currently using. You gotta get the fucking program. It's very interesting. So I think I want to say only in Japan. I assume only in Japan. Only in Japan do you have like these groups of like weird internationals saying like very sort of unhinged shit on Twitter and stuff. Like there's like it's the same concept we're currently speaking about, but they take it way too fucking far. Like,
what do you mean?
So one guy I saw
just talking about like gaijin Twitter in general.
Yeah. But so there was one guy who said something along the lines of he's like, yeah, this is Japan, so you know, either what was it, get with the program or get out kind of thing. Like that was his sentiment,
right?
Basically.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, not really. It's not that cut and dry as get with the program or get out. It's like, yeah, acclimatize yourself where you can, in areas that you can't, ask for assistance where you need it. But like to speak like to people, oh, you don't like the way we're doing this, get out. It's like, no, they can not like the way we're doing this. They can not like the way Japan is doing something. Hope for a change. Sometimes sometimes even campaign for a change. Try to make that change happen. But still sort of go along with the system as they're campaigning for said change. Like people in politics, people applying for like running for elections and stuff. They're not running for elections to like keep the shit the same. They want change as well, right?
Right.
They're trying to make that change, but as they're trying to make that change, they're still living the system that we're currently living in. Like it's not about like get with the system or get out, basically. I think it's gonna be hard for a lot of people to like come into Japan and sort of automatically adapt to the new system because it's a lot. It's a big fucking change, honestly. Coming from the UK, like I felt it. Like it's a massive change. Yep. Even little things like taxes, I was like, I got to do this myself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's maybe it's because like back home I didn't have to do it nearly as much.
Oh yeah,
because it was just handled by someone else, or like I had back home we had like an accountant that did a lot of stuff. So like now here it's like, oh okay, you have to do it all yourself. I mean I could hire an accountant.
Yeah.
but I don't want to pay for
I
them.
don't want to pay for it apparently. Yeah.
I don't want to pay for them.
So I gotta do it myself basically.
Yeah. And it's partly getting to grips with the fact that you just kind of have to do it because you have to do it, and then having to do it while also maybe not being able to read.
Oof.
Because
that's
I have
rub.
it on good authority from other Japanese people where it's always funny to hear foreigners complain about like, oh, well, you know, you got to go to the Shack show and do this and blah, 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 and whatever. And it's like, I have it on good authority that nobody likes going to the Shack show.
No one likes the Shack show.
And not even that. It's like, oh, well, I don't know. Like, I'm like, I don't know like 90% of the fucking kanji on this goddamn sheet.
Oh, yeah.
And then other Japanese people told me like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
I don't fucking know it either.
No one knows it.
Right?
I think
like,
that's the secret as well. Like, no one knows what the fuck they're doing really when it comes to these like weird systems. Like when you go to the Shack show to get like tax done or like you've not paid your pension or whatever, you go there. It's not like full of foreigners being like, well, we're all here. We got to get this. Oh, we've all fucked
back
up.
To the mines again.
We got to dig up this gold pension, boys. No, it's like 80 to 92% Japanese people. And then it's like the couple foreigners there being like, yeah, we also fucked up.
Yeah, and all those people look fucking miserable as well.
Miserable. Fucking miserable. I think the last time I went to the Shack show to get something like dealt with, I was there and something's like pension. They double fucking tax me on pension or something. Like they double tax me and I was like, why have you done this? And they were like, have you paid your taxes? Like, yeah, it comes out my fucking salary. And they're like, oh, then why did you pay this one? I was like, because an angry man called me and told me to fucking pay it. That's why I paid it. Because you
shoved it in my mailbox. Yeah. Pay this fucking thing.
The rule is simple. It comes in my mailbox. It has barcode. I pay it.
Have barcode? Yes.
I pay it. It's that simple. Yeah. It's not fucking rocket science. Yeah. She's like, why did you pay? I was like, it came in my house. It has a barcode. I pay it basically. She's like, oh no, we're going to have to go through the kerfuffle of like getting this shit refunded. And I was like, yeah,
that's not my problem. It's my money.
So then we had to like fill in all these forms. And I remember like one point, I'm like, I've got this form on this table, and I turn to the woman and I go, hey, what's this? What do I write here? And she goes, yeah, you write, one second. And I'm like, you work here.
You can't do that.
You can't do it. You work here. Who are you confirming with? What do I write here? And she vanished for like 10 minutes, came back. She's like, oh, you can leave it blank. And I'm like, listen, if this form is wrong, you fucking... You know what I mean?
I know damn well I can't. Damn well I can't.
Oh, dude. Well, yeah.
I'm sure that there's more wisdom I could dispense, but at the moment, like, that's the biggest one that comes to mind for me.
I'm here just for the biggest loads of wisdom currently. If you need more wisdom, we're on Discord, boys. Like, we'll make a wisdom chat. You can message us there. You can ask us questions in general chat.
Well, let's dispense some more wisdom.
Hell yeah, dude.
And we'll go to questions. Do you want to do Instagram questions first, or do you want to do... my Google Forms Discord questions?
Want to smash Instagram first?
Okay,
then?
we'll do Instagram questions here
brother.
first. Seeing as you can access them as well, I assume you're just gonna go through them thing by thing. We'll just start at the bottom, maybe.
Where does it end?
Okay, here it is. There's not that many. There's a couple. Okay. This is I was gonna organize them by like section, but given I didn't have time to look at the Instagram ones,
nah, you're fine.
So first question is by Isaac AI. How much cash in yen should I bring to my 3-week vacation in Japan?
Ooh.
That depends on what the fuck you're doing.
3 weeks in Japan?
3 weeks is a long time.
Okay. I'll put it this way. If you're here for... How much did my sister bring? She brought a lot, to be fair. She brought way more than she needed. If you're here for 3 weeks and you're staying in Tokyo the entire time... 200,000 yen should do, yeah? 200,000 yen be perfectly enough. I think that's fine. I think that's okay. If you're staying in Tokyo, 200,000 yen, you're gonna be fine.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's way more than you need.
Right.
It's maybe 50,000 yen more than you need, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But that 50,000 yen is very like safety money. I'd rather have too
Right.
much, not enough. That's a lot. 3 weeks, and you're traveling and you're leaving, like you're jumping on the Shinkansen. You're like traveling around a lot. Lord have mercy, dude. I would increase it by at least 100,000. I would say 250 to 300,000 for like if you don't want to worry about anything, basically. Because 3 weeks is a fucking long time.
You need like, so I just did some quick math here.
Go on, quick math. Excellent.
I said, oh no, wait, no, I botched that math because it's this times this times this times this. So I'm gonna say like for 3 weeks, just for food alone, you're gonna need $1,000.
100%. Easily.
$1,000.
Easily.
Because and that's like saying every meal is $15.
Yep. Easily.
Like $15 is like that's a
good
meal
meal
at basically any
Restaurant.
like chain restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even some not chain restaurants. So, you know, maybe you could skip a meal. Okay, you save $15. Don't eat breakfast. Cool.
Hotel breakfast instead of whatever breakfast.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
you save
exactly,
some money.
right.
That's my little sister did when she came. She like stayed at the hotel near me, so just in case I was close, and then she like got the hotel breakfast as well. So like that's a meal we shouldn't have to pay for. But then outside of that, meals are not expensive here, but like depending on what you want to eat, it's gonna add up. You want to hit an izakaya with the boys, it's gonna add up. You traveling to Osaka, you go to Kobe, you want to eat some Kobe beef. That's an entire day of meal money gone for one.
And
meal,
it's
basically.
like, where are you gonna, where are you staying? Are you staying in a hotel? Are you staying in a nice
In
hotel?
a nice
are you
hotel,
staying in a hostel?
Yeah.
Right, like
Backpacking, you're traveling. Like, what's going on here? Yeah.
if you're okay, let's just narrow this down. If you are just talking about spending money, like I'm gonna spend this frivolously, like I have my housing, my food is covered.
Yeah.
My travel expenses are covered.
I got the JR pass. I'm good. Yeah.
Like just to buy shit, I would say you need maybe $500 to $700.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. 5 to 7 is a nice amount.
Yep.
I've always said, especially when coming to like Japan or something, the way I was taught to travel by my mother, the way we traveled as a family was you save as much as you can. You save literally more than you fucking need. And then when you go to that place, you don't have to worry about anything.
Right, yeah. Bring more than you need, spend
more
less than you should.
Yeah, exactly. But you want to go back with either you've spent everything and you're like, I didn't struggle this entire time, or you have money left over and you're like, cool, put this in a jar. Next trip,
take it.
I got goman.
Yeah, it's not like the money is gonna change in the next like whatever many years, right?
And the yen is pretty dog shit right now, so there's no point like changing it back to dollars or whatever like your home currency is. So you just hold it. You just put it in a fucking case somewhere and you hold it until then. But I would say bring more than you need. I would say 300,000, 100,000 a week would be my general aim. That's enough for like dinner, going out places. Even if you're taking a Shinkansen, you budget for that as you go. But yeah,
I would definitely think if you're gonna take Shinkansen, then you should probably have already factored that into how much you're gonna
If not, I'd factor it in. I'm saying 100,000 a week. That's my thing. I'd say 100,000 a week base, and with that, you're gonna be good. About 1,000 a week. Yeah, that's me. Okay, that's my answer. David, next question.
Okay, next question. Oh, I like this question.
Go on.
This is from friend of the show. All Arise.
Hey.
What's the
Go on.
What's the most wrong opinion Jordan or David have had on the show?
Oh my god, the most wrong opinion.
The most wrong opinion. So I guess this is like, what do you think the opposite person's most wrong opinion is?
Ooh.
And I don't really know because I feel like we agree on 95% of stuff.
There is a nice 5% of arguments, but everything else it's pretty solid. Season 1, I remember myself saying this was the correct opinion zone where all opinions are correct. And I think that point stands.
Sure, yeah.
Oh my god, that's a good one.
I would have to sit and think on that one for
I'm going to get back to you on
longer.
that one. That is a very good question. I know we've had some takes where we're both just like, no, you're fucking wrong. Like, I know we've had a lot of these, but like, it's been a while since we've had
the last one that I can remember specifically is talking about what is not a shit post.
That was a good one. Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
That was like, but I think that was like more conceptual. I don't feel like that was a hot take or an opinion.
No,
really.
No, I don't think so. I'll get back to you. I can't think of any currently.
That's a good question.
That's a really good one. Pin in that one.
Fucking, I wish I just had one that I could just like blast out, like just be like, it's this. Boom.
I'd be
fuck you.
So pissed. I'd be like, how long were you fucking sitting on that tape?
Right.
You fucking like literally.
I knew right from the get go.
It's my trap card, Kaiba. You fucking god. I give it a one.
All right, next one. When are you leaving Japan? Are you not getting Nippon fatigue?
Nah, Japan's pretty sick actually. I'm not gonna lie. This is the very strange thing about Japan is that it's very easy to live here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think I'll ever have like Nippon fatigue. I'll probably be here for another 10 years at least. I guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
If things continue the way they're continuing, I'll be here for a while still. You gotta remember, like, the food's good, the food's affordable. All my boys are here. We're hanging out. The ones that aren't here, they're gonna visit. It's gonna be okay. I go back to the UK once, twice a year, see the family, do some celebrations. But every time I go back to the UK, it rekindles my
hatred.
Of the UK. It's like I go back and I'm like, oh my god, oh yes, this is why I left. It's dog shit. There's dog shit everywhere. There's crime everywhere. I don't like it here. This is why I left. And then I come back to Japan and I'm like, sweet Nippon. Let's fucking go, boys. Like, it's got to a case where I'll be in the UK and I'll be thinking like, can't wait to go home.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I definitely, when I went back to Canada the first time,
yeah,
I think it was like I went back 2 weeks, and I think by like the end of week 1, I was like, I just want to leave,
bro. Yeah, you're like,
I want to
leave. I want to go home, place. Dude. Back to glorious fucking Nippon, my guy. Like,
yeah, I don't know. It's not like Japan is like radically better than where I'm from, but like there's something just.
Do you know what it is? For me personally, it's convenience. There is more shit to do in Japan at all times of year.
This I can agree with.
Yeah. There's more shit to do here at all times of year. I right now can message our like with like this friend group we have. I could message that group and be like, hey guys, this event is happening. Or I'll be like, you guys want to
do you want to do this at this time?
And then I'll be like, hey guys, what do you guys want to do this weekend? Oh, we don't know. I'll do a quick Google. I'll just type things to do this weekend in Tokyo, and there will be a billion articles about like a ton of free events and free activities and like outings and hiking and like fucking go to the river, hit the beach, do fireworks, outdoor surfing, rock climbing.
Right.
There's so much shit to do, and it's all pretty fucking affordable. Like, it's all pretty affordable. Like, I'm not gonna break my bank doing anything. In the UK, we went to the cinema. Okay.
Yeah.
A little fucking Eiga-kan.
20 fucking pound cinema.
Bro.
Yeah.
£20?
Yeah. That's probably cheap, isn't it?
30.
Yeah.
30 fucking pounds.
Yeah, back home it's like, oh, let's go to IMAX. It's $40.
1,000 yen in Japan.
Yeah, something
1,000
like that.
yen.
Yeah,
I think the most I've paid for a fucking cinema ticket here, it was like 2,000 and something yen, because I went like release week and it came with like, here's your clear file, sir.
Right.
And here's like
here's
a postcard of the movie. And
like when I went to Spider-Verse, I got like a clear file and a fucking postcard and all this other shit. And I'm like, cool.
I'll take these.
I don't need it, but cool.
But I'll take it.
I'll
Cool.
take it.
Thanks. Like, this is the thing. Like, it's easier to do things here, and I don't have to worry about like little like anything.
I kind of wonder what you mean by like Nippon fatigue, right? It's like what is fatiguing?
I just being tired of Japan.
Like, but with what specifically, or like why? Like, I can be tired with certain aspects of Japan.
Oh yeah,
where I'm just like, I don't want to deal. But that's like, you'd find those things that I'm like annoyed by in other countries anyway.
Oh yeah, it's everywhere.
So it's like, I don't know. It's just a nice place to live.
It's an easy the backdrop of Japan. It's just good. I like it.
Right.
It's fun.
Yeah, there's a certain like vibe to it that I really jive with, I
really
guess.
thought so, yeah.
But I like, and I'm sure there's other places too where I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Yeah, like I could live here.
Oh yeah,
but
100%.
The place I want to be is here.
Yeah, agreed.
Which I think for some people is just like, yeah, it's cool, but I couldn't live there, and I feel like
Oh, I get that. No, I see.
that's perfectly fine.
I know people who've been here for a while and they go, it's not my scene. I'm gonna go back to like America or like the States.
Right.
Whichever.
And
I
there's
get it.
other stuff too, like there's people who have lived here and then moved to Korea and been like, Korea's way better, and I'm like, is it though?
I don't think so.
Like,
I don't agree with that.
you
No.
seem to do the same stuff in Korea that you did in Japan.
Yep.
But for some reason you're like, it's better here, and I'm like,
I don't think no.
from a just a looking over the fence kind of perspective,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is
No.
the same picture.
Same picture.
Like I don't want to be like that guy, but
No, it is.
no, these are the same picture.
No, when my friend was living in Korea for a while, we would speak about like the differences. She's like, we went karaoke once, and she was like, "Oh, we went to." It's like a Korean word for karaoke, and I was like, "Oh, karaoke." And they go, "No, we don't call it that in Korea." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, you can be mad at Japan for like past history things, but karaoke, baby. Like you can Rose by any other name, my dude. It's still a Japanese pastime, my guy. Like it's karaoke. You can call it like karaoke or whatever you want to call it. It's karaoke, my dude. Like I'm sorry, it's what it is. Oh, then we went to like what is basically a Korean izakaya, and I'm like, you're doing the same thing we're doing.
Right? Yeah.
We are brothers across the ocean, my dude. Like we're doing the same things. The only difference is like your backdrop is Korea, which I don't know.
Right. It's like, which theme park did you go to?
Yeah. Did you go to USJ or
It's
Disney?
Disney.
I went to USJ. Disney.
We both rode roller coasters. It was fun.
It was fun. Yeah. End of conversation.
Yeah.
Like it's silly.
Yeah. I don't think I'll get fatigued ever. I
Nah.
think like
Nah.
if I was going to, that would have been year 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah. We say this.
Yeah.
First 3 years, if you're not fatigued, it might hit year 5. If you're not fatigued at year 5,
Yeah.
you're here forever, baby. You
You're
ain't getting
forever.
nowhere.
Yeah,
You're not going anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. It's year 1, 3, 5, and if you're here, you're here, basically.
Yep.
Those weirdos that leave at year 10. Disgraceful.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a long time to put into a place and then just be
Bro.
like, I'm dipping, bye.
Going back to... I'm looking at
Yeah.
Going back to do
Alright,
what?
Next
God
one.
damn.
How busy are baseball games during the start of the season in Hiroshima or in general? Well, I don't
crazy.
live in Hiroshima, but Cart fans are fucking insane.
I know the answer to this one. My first baseball game ever was... and my only baseball game ever. It was in Tokyo, and it was a Tigers versus the Carps game. The Tigers? Is that what they're called? The blue team. The one that wears blue. I don't watch baseball, David.
Chunichi Dragons?
Yes, the Dragons!
No, if they're wearing blue, it could be Yokohama.
Yes, those ones! I don't know. Whatever you say, I'm going to say it's
Baystars?
correct. Yeah,
But why are the Cart playing in Tokyo?
because they're playing... It's the only team I've ever watched, and we're sitting on the Carp side. The only reason I know is because we were sitting on the Hiroshima Carp side, and our side was fucking sick. People were hyped. And I was like, this is a sick game, because all these guys from Hiroshima came up to fucking Tokyo to watch the Carps playing some game. And then we were there on the Carp side, and I have good memory up until a certain stage, because alcohol is served at these stadiums. It was a fucking sick day out, my guy. So it was very busy. This was like mid-season game. It was still busy. It does not get less busy.
Let me put it to you this way, right?
Go on.
Tokyo has like a population of what? 12 million?
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes. I'm going to say yes while I'm searching the population.
I'll
of
say
Tokyo.
12 million. A stadium fits like what? 30,000 people? Oh, 37 million.
Sorry. 37
Slightly
million.
off, just less than half. Yeah,
Fucking
37 million. One stadium probably fits like what, 30 to 50,000 people?
Something like that, yeah.
So you can fit like maybe not even up. It's like, that's like what, 2%? Barely, not even.
The capacity of Yokohama Stadium, which is where we watched the game, is 72,000.
Okay, so and that's, Yokohama Stadium is close enough that you could go from Tokyo to Yokohama.
It's
no
also
fucking problem.
Yeah, it's also the largest seated state capacity of any stadium in Japan. This is the biggest one.
Okay,
This is the biggest stadium.
72,000 is the maximum amount of people. I can guarantee you that out of those 37 million people, at least half of them like baseball.
Oh, at least half.
At least half.
People love baseball here.
So, yeah, if you're planning to go,
It's gonna be packed.
get a ticket
Yep.
and go.
And go. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Start of the season, end of the season, middle of the season.
It's gonna be busy.
Gonna be busy.
Every ticket we booked. Do you know what's funny as well? So, according to my friend, there are people who go to these baseball games because they love baseball, love of the game.
Mhm.
They love a bit of baseball, you know? They're going to support the
Their
Carps, the Dragons, the fucking Fire Brigade, baseball team, Alpha Star, Megatrons, whatever they're
Okay.
called.
Uh-huh.
Woo, baseball. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Hit a fucking home run. And then there are these other guys who are just like, drinks. We like the atmosphere.
Yeah.
We're here for the bevs. And they just go there to drink at a baseball stadium because they like the atmosphere of baseball.
Yeah.
And that's me. If I'm at a game,
I get it.
that's
I
why
understand.
I'm there. I'm going to be screaming and cheering about teams and things I don't understand. But yeah, hit a fucking homer. Don Parion, whatever the names
Do you know
are.
what a balk is?
Oh, what, sorry?
A balk.
Fuck's a buck.
It's a maneuver in baseball.
What happens there?
I won't explain it. Never mind. Moving on. You don't know what it is.
Okay.
For all you baseball fans out there.
I know nothing about baseball, like 0%.
Fair enough.
I know home runs are hit and you got to run around the bases and there's balls.
All right, last Instagram question.
go.
How long do you guys plan on making the podcast?
Until we're bored, probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say until it stops being enjoyable.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
for the foreseeable future, I don't see that being the case.
Yeah, you gotta remember,
so-
like, we make the pod because it's fun.
Yeah.
Basically, we like hanging out once a week, chatting shit, drinking on the podcast, having some
Yep.
coffee. You know, hanging out. It's kind of like a fun thing to do by a weekly.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, we're not beholden to a topic either, which I think some like other podcasts or like YouTube channels, it's like we're not talking about like The Office or something, right? Like a thing that's like finite. It's like, okay, we've talked about every episode. What do we do? Loop back to the start and start off again. Like
we start again,
right? Like that. Like how much can you talk about a singular topic, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So in a way, this podcast is kind of evergreen.
Yep.
In
much.
that you talk about what happened that week or something that interests you or whatever, and you just go. And if people want to listen, they listen. If they don't, they don't.
And looking at our numbers, people want to listen.
The line goes up.
Line goes up. People like listening to our podcast. We keep making the podcast.
Okay.
I think even if line goes down, we still make podcasts.
Yeah, it's kind of,
because
yeah.
podcast fun, and I like doing it.
All right. So we're going to go to the Discord questions,
Oi,
of which
oi.
I have 1, 2, 3,
Oi,
4,
oi.
5, 6, a lot.
Fuck me, dude. Alright, let's go. I trust your Discord, boys.
So, if you want questions to be read from the Discord, get in the Discord. There's a link in every episode that
Hell
should
yeah.
take you to the Discord. You can join whenever you want. Come say hi. We're in there, or I'm in there all the time.
I'm in there sometimes. I get busy.
just- Discord is always just open passively on my computer. So,
Hell yeah, dude.
anyway,
I'm
question
never-
1.
I'm never
Hi,
gonna
it's
tag me.
Dan.
What up, Dan? Love you.
As always, love the podcast. Thanks for giving a sometimes realistic perspective on living in Japan. What do you mean sometimes?
Fuck, Dan. It's always realistic. I fucking love.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes you go a little bit off the reservation.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, valid.
Okay.
Valid.
2 questions.
Go on.
1. Now that you spent a good chunk of your adult lives in Japan, with some of you and the boys even being married, do you think you are still capable of living as adults in your home countries?
Yes. I've been back enough time to realize that I could definitely be back in Japan, back in the UK, and living as an adult there. But I've been back enough time to realize I'm gonna fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Because the cost of living is crisising in the UK currently, and they've hit a new recession, and food costs are spiking. So yeah, I could do it. Do I want to do it?
No.
Fuck no.
Yeah, I'm the
Fuck
same way.
no.
I could do it. Do I want to? Not really.
Not really.
Side question: if you got deported and banned from Japan for all the coke you're smoggling, where would you live?
You fucking well, obviously Cuba.
Sure,
I
there
mean,
you go,
obviously,
there you go.
obviously Cuba. I mean, think about it. I'd probably, cause I would not go back to the UK. I'd actually probably end up going to, like probably Germany. I like Germany. Germany's fun. I'll probably go there.
Yeah, for me, I'd probably go to Vietnam or maybe Italy.
Italy's good. Ooh,
But
Italy's
that would,
very
I
good.
think that would be kind of dire circumstances if that was the case.
Yeah, it's only if our our elaborate
Yeah,
coke smuggling
coke
business
smuggling.
goes down.
Yeah, yeah,
We're fine.
right.
We're fine. It's
Yeah.
it's solid. It's solid.
My second question is about advice I need. I want to be a private one-on-one or small group ESL teacher in Japan.
Mm.
It's my genuine dream,
That's
not a
nice.
stepping stone for anything else.
Excellent.
I don't want to live in poverty. Good luck. But I don't want to be rich either. Why not?
Being rich is great.
I'm currently getting a communications degree focusing on international communication.
That's good.
I'm about to start a course for TEFL certification,
Oh, good man.
and I'm considering studying for the JLPT. I have 6 months experience teaching specifically Japanese students online. What steps do you think I should take to make this happen? As a one-on-one or small group ESL teacher, that just sounds like an eikaiwa.
Eikaiwa, yeah. I would say what you're describing is an eikaiwa. So you basically have two paths in front of you. One, you join an eikaiwa.
Mm-hmm.
Great. It's going to suck. Eikaiwas are terrible. You don't want to be rich? Trust me, you won't be rich. Trust me.
In fact, you'll be very poor.
You might indeed be very poor. Unless you're working in the weird, borderline illegal school that Sean was working in for a while. That paid him very well, but worked him to death.
Yeah,
Fucking
it's
awful,
like...
dude.
It also depends on, like, where your school is,
Yeah.
right? I feel like, for example, where I'm living here, if I got a Kaiwa job in, like, Jiugaoka, where all the rich people live,
Oh, you'll be fine.
I'd probably make a lot more money because they feel like, oh, well, we can charge all the rich people more money.
100%.
And
Easily.
they'll go do it, right?
They're like, yeah, sure. I'll pay
So-
that. Affordable.
Yeah, and, like, I say that knowing full well that if that was the case, I still wouldn't make that much money.
Nope. Because as a drone of a larger eikaiwa, your your salary is capped. Your other option, of course, well, you could always go for the university route as well. Just like a side note, you could end up working for university. You wouldn't be working. You'd be working like smaller groups.
Right.
That's pretty good as well. I would definitely look into that too. It's pretty fun. And then third option, of course, is just open your own school
Right.
in Japan somewhere.
And then you collect all the money.
Yeah. Then you collect all the money, and then maybe you won't be rich, but you'll be very well off. You'll be very happy.
Yeah. I mean, you'll be infinitely more, if you're as moderately successful as pulling in students as other schools are.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're pulling like 5, 6, 10 students
Oh, you'll be
and
fine.
you keep them all in rotation,
Oh,
you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Get to Japan, find a partner. You do the thing that, remember Tim?
I don't think I met Tim
Oh, you
because
met
he was
Tim.
not.
That's
you
right.
You were not in my area.
I was not. Yeah, Tim is a guy who used to basically hire almost every good English teacher in the area to work in his school. I love Tim. Tim, very similar personality type to me. Amazing guy. He's fucking sick. So he'd hire like almost all the teachers in the area. He'd find the good ones, he'd hire you in his school. And his school had like a big like revolving door of teachers. Like when they left teaching to St. Else, a new one was there to take his place basically. And because his school was positioned so well, it's still open today. They're just like, eventually they just didn't have to work anymore. Like the three dudes who like made the school, whatever, like
Investors,
yeah.
funders, yeah.
they just like cycled to the teachers, opened like a second location, ended up like not having to teach anymore. Like it's a pretty good career path if you have the business mindset and you're even like just somewhat of a people person to be able to like, drum up customers basically. But starting as a teacher could help because then you at least have access in the community, or knowing people who are teachers is good because you have access to like the community basically. But yeah, I think that's like the way to do it really.
Yep.
Unless you want to be on like an online teacher all the time. There's that.
I
too.
mean, which is 100% doable.
Oh, it's doable, yeah,
but
for sure.
again, like in that case, it's like you don't necessarily need to live in Japan to do that.
You can live anywhere, pretty much.
So it's like weird because in that case, you would have to acquire a visa to work for yourself.
Yes.
In Japan to get yourself your visa. Yeah, like you'd have to move to Japan to start an LLC
Stressful.
as yourself to make sure you have a visa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And then you have to teach enough students to be able to pay for
your
visa
all your
and
stuff
like
and
rent
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
That's a lot of teaching, honestly.
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but no, it's durable. But those are probably the paths I'd lay out for you. Maybe there's an unseen path that I can't see because I'm not actually walked this path as well. But generally, that's kind of like what I say. Is
My
like
my advice would be, in that case, would just be get in the country first. Doing like whatever, like if you want to do English teaching, there's no shortage of Eikaiwas that will hire you.
Yeah, it's tons. Yeah,
But it's get here first, because I feel like a lot of companies are a little bit more hesitant to hire people overseas if there's an option that's just as good within the country.
100%.
That means you're already here, you're already in the system. They don't have to help you move and get a house and open a bank account and do all this other horse shit. You just give them your information and you're done.
Which is why it's always good. Like I always find it's good jumping into a big company first, and then if there's like little smaller companies that pay a little better, then you dive into those ones, because those are the companies that are really scared to like hire people from abroad,
right?
Because they're worried about like, what if this guy doesn't have a bank? So he doesn't have a bank. He's just got here, like
right.
You know. But yeah.
Question.
Right.
Next one. In the latest podcast from Japan Times, they deep dive into. Sorry. What did I fucking write here? In the latest podcast from Japan Times deep dive, they said that Japanese Taylor Swift fans were not happy with the foreign fans because they didn't behave the same as them. Are there any differences between Japan and the U.S. and U.K.? Yeah.
Yeah, a boatload. But
tons.
if we take just the live concert thing, dude, Japanese concerts are weird.
Completely different.
It's so fucking like Japanese concerts are kind of creepy.
It's stand and appreciate the beauty of the artist and their singing prowess.
You stand there and you go and you listen and you stare at them, and then when
you paid to come there to listen to them sing, not hear some fucking
person in the back
screech.
screaming. No, you've paid to watch this person sing and perform, and you're gonna stand and or sit depending on the show. You're gonna watch the person sing. Then when they're done, you're gonna go.
That's clapping, by the way, not masturbating.
That's clapping. Very important to say, And that's it. That's what you do for 3 hours. It's fucking weird. Like, unless you're going to like a smaller like live show or like a rock show or something like that, or like in the mosh pit or something, it's kind of dull. There's no like live show atmosphere. It's kind of fucking boring. Like honestly,
it's a little bit weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's dull.
I don't mind people not like singing over the artist.
No,
if they're,
I like
right
that
by your ear.
No, that's good. Let's have that international as well, please. Everyone, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear you sing.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I didn't pay to come to hear you sing this person's song.
No,
like, that's annoying.
Yeah.
But like, cheer and scream and whatever, like that's fine.
Yeah, sure. Like people are excited. Like let people live their lives basically. But no, it makes sense that there's going to be like big disconnect between like Japanese and international Taylor Swift fans, because like there's a whole culture around Taylor Swift in like the fucking land of Gaikoku where they're like, we gotta trade bracelet. The whole bracelet trading thing, you heard about this?
Oh yeah, with
They're like trade bracelets, and you gotta wear pink, and there's like a thing you gotta do when you get
we
there.
We could do an entire fucking episode about the Taylor Swift cult.
Dude, it's fucking ridiculous, honestly. But yeah, as a whole, oof, I have the hottest, most cancelable takes about this person.
All right,
Lord have mercy, bro. She ain't.
We'll get right back to that question of Jordan's hottest take.
Oh,
that we disagree with.
bro. She's not even good. Like, I don't think she. Ooh. Have you seen her live shows? She cannot sing.
Ooh,
she
hot take. Taylor Swift,
she's
complete and utter trash.
No, honestly, yeah. Like,
you heard it here first.
Her songs, karaoke bangers.
I'm not gonna.
You don't have to.
A word.
I don't find her that like talented. Honestly, like, I think she's very mid. If you go and watch like her live, watch recordings from her live shows. Like these aren't.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
I know. These aren't good performances.
I couldn't give a shit about.
Oh, I don't give a shit. I only realized this because my little sister, she brought it up to me. She was like, oh, she's like, oh, I hate Taylor Swift. I was like, oh my god, why? What happened? And she's like, oh, her shows are like trash. And I was like, I've never like looked into it enough to like know, because I don't care. And then she sent me like a video of like one of her live shows, and I was like, this can't be it. This has to be like edited. She's like, no, that's what it is. And I was like, wow, this is.
I don't like Taylor Swift specifically for one song.
Which song is it?
I don't know the title of the song,
That's
but
perfectly okay.
I've heard the song like a million bajillion times.
Is it? Oh, which one is? What's the fucking popular one? Go on. Do you know it?
Yeah. I mean, I know the lyrics.
Is it? How's it go?
It's the one where she's talking about like how the football player should be with her and not with.
Oh, is that?
No. It's an older song. But
Okay,
anyway,
fair enough.
like people are like, oh, like it's a song about like a girl who's like heartbroken that she likes this guy and he doesn't look. No, you're literally a stalker.
Yeah, you're stalking this man. Leave this man alone.
Right? Like if you listen to that song in the context of that she's a creepy stalker, the entire song takes on a completely different fucking meaning.
I've always said what you do is you switch like the genders of the people in the song, and if it's creepy,
yes, Dan, You Belong With Me. That's the song.
Even the title is creepy, dude. Nah,
Yep.
fuck that, dude. Nah, it's creepy. We don't like that here.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Anyway, we'll do an episode about Taylor Swift one day. And get completely fucking cancelled by the Swift.
I'm not worried about getting canceled. I'm worried about getting fucking murdered.
Oh, good point. They're a ravenous fan group.
Okay. Next one. What hidden rules would get you looking bad in Japan? God, if I could throw a stone, I'd hit at least 3.
Yeah, it would chip off at least 2 more as well.
Yeah.
Fuck me, dude. What hidden rules? Don't eat on the train. Don't talk on the train.
Don't do anything on the train.
Don't do
anything
on the train. Yeah, sit on the train. Shut the fuck up. Yep. Shut the fuck up.
Don't talk.
Nope. Shut the fuck up on the train. And people are gonna go, but I was on the train and people were talking. I'm like, great.
And everyone thought that guy was an asshole.
Yep. 100%. Fucking asshole. Don't do it. Shut the fuck up. Like, have a relaxed train.
Walk.
I mean, I do that anyway. To be fair, I don't give a shit.
Why? I mean,
No.
no. The question was, what rules would get you looking bad in Japan? Not what rules do you actually give a shit about.
Oh, forgive me. Yeah, don't eat and walk. They would be like, wow, look at this fucking degenerate eating and walking. Yuck. Like, yeah, that's one.
Just being loud in general.
In general, yeah. We don't like that generally. Being obnoxious in places that doesn't require, like, being obnoxious. Also, don't take videos of yourself crossing Shibuya crossing.
Maybe that's just obnoxious to us.
Oh, maybe.
But we're going to point and laugh.
We're going to point and laugh. We have a game where we count how many obnoxious tourists are, like, taking video of themselves and taking photos crossing Shibuya crossing. Well, my sister first came to Japan. She came to Japan a little while ago, and we crossed the crossing. I was like, this should be a crossing. We weren't there for the crossing. We were going to, like, eat. Right. And I was like, this should be a crossing. Do you want to take a photo? And she's like, no. Why? I'm like, excellent. We're related. Continue. Because, like, it's a crossing. What are we doing here? But, oh my God, there's so many. I'm trying to think of all of them. What other rules get you looked at bad? It's a lot of, like, don't be too loud.
Using your chopsticks incorrectly.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing.
Like, the reason that it's a problem is they're hidden for a reason. Yeah. And you don't know what they are until they stab you in the fucking dick.
Honestly, yeah, a little bit. A little bit. I think a lot of the time it eventually becomes like second nature.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know breathing was against the rules,
breathing
right?
Heavy, breathing a bit heavy there.
Yeah.
Breathing a bit heavy there.
Exactly, right? It'd be like, you breathe out of step with everyone else in this train car. That's a paddling.
Everyone's paddling. Everyone gets their paddles out. Yeah. That's paddling.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of like weird small rules that would get you looked at weird in Japan. I would say that if you're living here, eventually you'll learn them. It's fine. If you're here just like visiting, just don't be a dick. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
It's pretty easy to not be a dick.
Yeah, that's it. Just don't be a dick. Like, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. I think of like if you're worried about stuff like that, like you're worrying too much. It's not.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
It's not that deep.
Nah, you'll be okay. Don't worry about it.
Next one.
Give me a little question. You go, David. Give me a little question. Go
on. I mean, we get this question all the time.
Go on, David. Give me a little question.
Is dating hard in Japan as a foreigner?
No.
Next.
No.
Like, define hard.
No, it's easy. No. I'll put it this way. This is how I've always put it. It's how I will now always continue to put it. If dating was hard for you in home country, dating is going to be hard for you in Japan.
Probably because you're
a weirdo, yeah.
You're a weirdo.
Sorry. Yeah, you're a weirdo. If dating was hard for you in home country, it's going to be hard for you here. If it was easy for you in home country, it'd be easy for you here.
Let me put it this way.
Go on.
Right? When all of us came here to Japan, we were all single. I'm counting like Jay, Sean, me, and you.
Yeah.
2 of 4 of us are married now, and the
Yes.
other 2 also have long-term girlfriends. Is
Pretty
dating
much, yeah.
hard? No.
No,
It's not.
it's not hard. No, you're fine. You're gonna be okay. Like, come to the country. Don't be a weirdo. If you're weirdo back home, you be a weirdo here as well. Like, give or take your levels of weirdness. But generally, no. Get a hobby and go to the place where the hobby is done. Meet people there. Look at this. You've made friends and or relationships.
Mhm.
It's easy. Don't worry about it. Don't
Yep.
overstress. Don't overthink about it. If you need like more like niche help about how to date certain individuals in certain locations, cool. Let me know. Hit me up.
Right.
DM me. We can talk. But outside of that, you'll be fine. It's easy.
Yeah, I mean it's no harder like than anywhere else.
Oh, no.
Just don't treat people like fucking aliens.
Yeah, don't
It's
do
like they're
that.
just the regular ass people,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
if it wasn't kosher back home, it's definitely
It's
not kosher, here.
here. It's that simple. It's that simple. That's
And
really
if you don't know what's kosher, that's a problem already off the hop, right? That like
listen, that might be your problem.
right.
If you don't know what's kosher,
Yeah.
we've done it. We found your problem.
Yeah, if you're finding it hard at home, maybe it's you.
Maybe I'll take my therapy bills up front.
Right, yeah.
You can send the deposit to my PO box.
I'm not calling you out, but like if you feel like it's a problem, maybe do some self-introspection.
please and thank you. All right. Next
All right.
question.
We're gonna move on to the section I've titled travel.
Oh God. go on.
I think there's only one question here.
Easy smash.
It says, "Hello guys, congrats on the 200th episode.
Thank you,
That
thank
is
you.
such a great milestone. I wish for many more to come."
Hey,
Anyways,
boss.
on with the question. I would love to hear your tips and tricks about long haul traveling, both in airplanes and Shinkansen. Let's say Tokyo to Hiroshima. I know about flights, but I heard they are a pain to book online in Japanese.
It can
not
be,
really.
yeah.
They yeah, kind of. I'll be visiting Japan in April, and I have a 3-flight trip one way ahead of me. That's the shortest I could get. I live at the
3?
edge of Europe. I don't know what's the edge of Europe? Like
Luxembourg or something.
Siberia?
Yeah,
like,
no,
what do you
somewhere
can?
crazy.
I don't know
Yeah.
what the edge of Europe is. Is
Luxembourg.
Russia and Asia? Is Russia? Europe?
Nah. Russia doesn't count. Russia. We don't talk about Russia anymore.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. To reach Tokyo, one of them being a 14-hour flight. That's
That's horrible.
about the same as from Vancouver.
But
to
only one. There's like 3
Tokyo.
flights.
Oh, one of them is a 14-hour flight.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Plus the other 2 flights.
They're probably
of
going
however.
1, 2, and then the
3.
long fall.
Right.
Ugh, disgusting. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
I've done my
horrendous.
research and taken some steps in preparation, but it would be great to listen to your input as well. Well, let me tell you, you have 200 episodes worth of podcasts to listen
Let
to.
me tell you some info, my boy.
No. Melatonin. Knock yourself out.
Yeah, honestly,
Plane trips go real quick when
Dude.
you're unconscious.
knock yourself the fuck out. That's what I do now. Like, take a melatonin, knock out. Stay awake on those. Let's go backwards. Work out what time you're going to land. If you're
Mhm.
landing here in the daytime, cool. If you're landing here in the morning, you do the 2 short flights, and then that long fucking flight, that last 8 hours, go to bed.
Yep.
Put a
Sleep.
melatonin in your fucking pocket. Put it somewhere. Okay, where the fuck you put it. Take that shit. Knock yourself out in the last 8 hours. Because if you're
Mhm.
getting here in the morning, you need to be up all day. There will be
Mhm.
no sleeping by 8 p.m. There'll be no taking naps. No.
No.
You need to be the fuck up until you get to your hotel at like 9, 10 p.m. Then
Yeah.
you crash. Then you get up the next day and you like live your life. If you're landing in the evening, you keep your ass awake on that entire fucking flight. You do not sleep. You sleep at the beginning of the flight, if anything, then you keep your ass up. If you don't regulate your pattern, you'll be fucked.
Mhm.
And like the worst thing is, it won't fuck you for a day or 2. It'll fuck you for your entire trip.
Yep.
Your entire trip, you're gonna be fucked. So you
Because
gotta be careful
you're
about that.
you're just gonna end up trying to play catch up, and
the
you're
entire
just
time.
you're gonna be out all day and be like, man, I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
It's real weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All day. Like I think my sister had one bad sleep and she was like, I'm fucked. She's like, I fucked. She's like, if we weren't meeting like every morning to like go and do something, she's like, I'd sleep all day.
I'd sleep all day.
We had one day where she just like crashed the entire day. She woke up at like 2 and she was like, I'm up. Let's do something now. And I was like, cool, let's go explore.
Yep.
Because she was like, I'm dead. I need a day to like
Mhm.
rest. I'm like, I need, my sleep deficit is crazy right now. You know what I mean? So it takes a long time to like recover from that.
Yeah. Other than that, like, you're stuck on a plane, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like you need entertainment of some kind.
Watch the movies.
Watch movies.
Bring a
for
Switch.
14 hours. Yeah.
I mean, I bring my Switch. I play games. I watch movies the entire time.
Read a book.
I read a book. Yeah. I have big noise cancelling headphones so no one can talk to me. Like, you know, you got to be in charge of your own entertainment.
I mean,
basically.
yeah. Realistically, like, you're stuck in that plane regardless.
You better bring some shit.
You better bring some shit to
You better
do.
bring some shit, dude.
Or, like I said, knock yourself out. Like, if you knock yourself out for 8 hours, that shaves off so much time.
One of my flights coming back last time. So on my flight, I was going to the UK. So on my like second half of my flight, I brought my Switch out because I'm like, it's time to start smashing some fucking Switch.
Yeah.
So bring my Switch out, I start playing like, I think I was playing like Smash or something. I was like, I'm gonna play Smash, do like the game, whatever.
All day, 14 hours.
Bro, yeah. There's a guy next to me, just like watching me play Smash.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this guy is bored. He has movie in front of him. He has things he could be doing. What is he doing? He's watching me play Smash. Why? Because he didn't plan ahead. He's nothing to do. I have two choices here. I could ignore him, or I could be like, hey, dude, it's a long flight. Want to play together? Do you know what I did? I ignored him. I don't want to deal with that. I don't deal with that. Because what if I'm done playing Smash?
What a turn.
What if I'm done playing Smash and I want to play something else?
Right.
And he's like,
I was playing Smash.
I just want to play. Well, if I'm like, oh, I'm done now. He's like, oh, I'll take over. I'm sorry.
Who switches it?
Who switches this? With my battery power?
Right.
What if I get bored again and want to play again? No, sorry, listen.
Right.
You need to be the captain of your own entertainment, alright?
Mm.
And I will not go down with this fucking ship. So, yeah, good luck, bro. Like, bring
I think
entertainment.
on my first trip here when I came in high school, I got lucky to where I got sat next to a girl who was like, she was a little bit older. She was like maybe like 2 or 3 years older than me. So I was 17, I think, at the time. And she was like maybe 19, 20, 21, something like that. But she was also Canadian.
Nice.
But she had flown from the opposite end of the country. So she flew all the way across Canada to Vancouver and then from Vancouver to Japan.
Terrible.
But it was just like, it was super nice to be sitting next to someone who like was from the same country as me, because
good,
on those flights out of Vancouver, it's like everyone is either Chinese or Japanese.
Oh,
right,
yeah,
on
yeah,
those
yeah,
planes.
yeah.
So like I'm sitting next to like fucking she's from Prince Edward Island. She looked like Anna Green Gables. I'm not even joking.
That's
like straight up,
ridiculous.
just like red hair and everything.
Fuck yeah.
So I'm like, just like, yeah. So like we ended up talking probably like for fucking 10 hours.
Oh, that's fun.
I'm just bullshit.
I like that. That's fun. That's good.
And that passed the time. It was great. And then like
get those.
we saw each other in the fucking pickup line for luggage at the end.
Yeah, that's good.
We didn't say anything. Just
See you.
and then gone.
I
Never
had
saw
that.
her again.
I had that. That was good. I had a guy when the first time I came to Japan during my entire flight between, I think it was from the UK to like Turkey. Just talking the entire time. Well, I talking about like what I'm doing in Japan. Why am I going there? And he was like going to Turkey to like meet like his wife's family or something. He's like introducing to his kids and shit.
Yeah.
Like you sometimes you just click with the person you're next to. You can have like really fun conversations. But then sometimes
And then other times you want to fucking kill that person.
yeah, I mostly want to kill that
So,
person. To be fair,
Your mileage literally will vary.
it will literally vary. It will always go
Yeah,
up.
like other than very just boilerplate stuff, I don't know really what we can tell you as far as.
In terms of like
helping you out.
Shinkansens or whatever, there's Wi-Fi. You're fine.
Yeah, and Shinkansens aren't typically that long.
No, a
like
couple
I
hours.
mean,
If you're going down to Hiroshima, it's like 4 hours, 5 hours.
listen, if you're
easy.
already making a 14-hour flight to Japan, a 3-hour Shinkansen ride will feel like fucking light speed.
Bro, Shinkansen are for that's napping time.
Yeah.
You jump on a Shinkansen, you grab yourself a frosty Shinkansen beer,
Mm-hmm.
you down it while eating some
That
snacks.
bento, yeah.
Yeah. You get a little bento, you eat it, you drink your frosty beer, you see Mount Fuji, depending which way you're going. As soon as you see Mount Fuji, you're like, that was fun. All right, time to go to bed. You take a fucking nap. Like a champion, you know? You get some sleep.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's done, my guy. Like, honestly, that's Shinkansen professionalism. When it comes to, like, Shinkansen discounts and stuff, man, you gotta, like... There are apps for that. But they're all in Japanese, so... I can help you, dude. Like, I can't hold your hand in this one. Yeah, dude. Give me a question.
All right. I'll go to the social media section here.
Oi, my section.
I don't know if you have a heart out here that you need to get out.
We're good for it.
We're
Go
good.
for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, first question, I guess, is what do you think is the current state of the content creation industry in Japan?
What do you mean? It's fine.
Just it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
The current state. Oh, that's hard to say. There are surprisingly less creators here than you think there are.
Yep.
So there are a key 10 to 20 creators depending on.
I feel like we know probably almost all of them.
I know all of them personally by this stage.
Yeah.
Like
I even me, who's an antisocial fucker, knows most of them.
yeah, like there are 10 to 20 creators. Maybe there are some more, maybe some less, but the main guys like 10 to 20. These are your main creators. They're the ones who are doing most of the creating stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who are doing most of the video stuff. And a lot of people go, they're all friends. Yeah, they're all friends. There's only 20 of them. Of course they're friends. Like,
Right.
how could they not be friends at this stage, you know? Like, if you're working in a niche community and there's only like 50 of you,
You gotta think about it this way, right? Like, I would say for the most part, when you look at the foreigner population in Japan,
Yeah.
something like the total population of foreigners is like 1% of the population.
Oh, yeah.
I think it actually ballooned to 2%.
Oh, yes, go
recently.
Yeah.
But like 50% of that 2% is Chinese, Korean,
Yep.
Vietnamese,
Yep.
Indian.
Yep.
None of them are speaking English.
No.
So as far as like the content creation side, like our two worlds never do they meet,
No.
right? So like I can just kind of exclude 50% of the population.
Easily,
Okay,
yeah.
gone. Then out of that 50% that's here, how many of those are content creators? It's like an nth of a percent.
It's so tiny, yeah.
It's like, I would say it's like probably like 0.8, 0.9%
Maybe, yeah.
of the other, I think it's 45% of
Yeah.
people.
It's minuscule.
So that's like what, if you're lucky, how much is that? So let's say there's how many million? I want to look this up to do some actual quick math. How many foreign residents in Japan? 3.1 million. So
And then
3.
1 million.
And then we're gonna divide that by 0.55, which will give us the rest. So that means there's 5 million out of. Sorry, not 5 million. What the fuck am I doing? I'm not doing math correctly. Sorry.
David's quick math has failed him.
Yeah. Sorry, that's 1,395,000.
There we go.
How many of those people do you think are content creators?
50. Max.
Yeah, like maybe.
that.
So that's like how much of a percent?
Barely anything. Not even 0.000.
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
so dumb. Like we had a spreadsheet of like all the creators in Japan basically, and there's not as many as you think. And then out of all the creators, you then have things like who's creating content that's marketable, who's creating content that's just memes, who's creating content that's like not safe for work, it's family friendly. 1%, literally.
1%.
Fucking fantastic. That's so silly. But yeah, it's like there are so many different avenues for content creating, and not every avenue is monetizable. And so like a lot of it is kind of just kind of being made for the love of the game, for the love of content creating. And then out of those 50, like let's say 50 content creators, maybe there are 50 more that are trying to be content creators.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's never a bad time to make content.
Right. Yes.
It's never a bad time to get into it. It's always fun to get it. And if you enjoy making content, you come to Japan, that's what you want to do, I would suggest do it. But you know, that's kind of like it's
weird. I feel like just from the perspective of this podcast, right? I feel like yes, there are like 50 creators, but I feel like in some cases a lot of them are just not available or attainable, or like they're just extremely hard to do anything with because they're insular.
yeah.
In not that they're just busy, but they are insular in that they have that group of 50 big people, and that's how they're making the money, and so they stay within that group. Like, very rarely do I see someone who I've never heard of before
Oh, no, of course
just start, like, even if they start to get big, they're not doing stuff with any of those 50 people.
No, of course not. We don't know who you are, basically. Like, you know, it's very difficult to work with someone with no understanding of that person's history as well. Because if I work with someone, turns out they're a massive fucking nonce or something like that.
Right?
Then
Yeah,
what, you know?
yeah.
Because there are certain
Especially
creators,
in Japan.
especially in Japan, certain creators that could be a fucking nonce. You end up like tweeting them on Instagram, and now suddenly everyone's like, "Oh, is this guy a fucking nonce too? Is that what's going on?" You know what I mean? Like it's a risky business. So I get it. It's a lot about like content creating when it comes down to it, like being a creator. It's about your audience. You're making stuff for your audience, and your audience determines how popular you're going to be. They determine like how relative you are in a sense. So if you decide to do something that's a little bit fucking specioso, you can very quickly lose the spur of your audience.
I think the best way to answer this question, like how is it the question was, what do you think is the current state of the content creation industry? In my opinion, it is small and insular, but
growing.
But yeah, there's growth that can be had outside of that group. I feel like
there is.
I feel like there is space to do things that core group of like 40, 50, whatever people are not doing.
100%. No, there's always space for growth in this industry.
Whether you actually end up getting big or not is another story entirely. And even if you do, I think you have to ask yourself, like, do I even give a shit about those other content creators as far as my content goes? I don't think you should.
Comparison is the death of creativity. You should never be comparing yourself.
I'm not talking about like comparison. I'm talking about collaboration.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It doesn't matter then. Honestly, like you collaborating with someone will not get you popular. This is very important. So there is a person, I'm gonna no names. There's someone I know who is a famous kind of like popular content creator, and they'll.
Can I ask you some probing questions?
No.
Like just
go on.
Do I know this person?
Oh no.
No. Okay.
No, you're fine.
I've never met this person.
No. This one isn't Japan based.
Oh, okay,
I'm using a non-Japan based one because the community is too small in Japan. I should have made that clear. Sorry. There's someone I know is content creating not in Japan. They're like a US based person, and they've been trying to push someone else in their agency, like a new up and comer whatever person. And they've like tagged them in stuff. They've pushed them in things. Like they've done like collaborations. This person is still sitting at a number exponentially lower than this person's number. Because when it comes down to it, just collaborating with someone doesn't get you shit. You gotta. It's a lot about like who are you collaborating with, and are they gonna give a shit that is their audience gonna care who you are basically
enough to go?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I understand what you mean. I've definitely seen like, oh, so and so showed up on whoever's show, and it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, like, and then I never ever go look at their content.
You don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, unless they've done something so spectacular in those few, like in that one collaboration to make you want to go and follow them.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Like, it's not important. That's why me diving into, I don't know, I could be on various people's like in YouTube videos. I could be in various, and I have been. I can be very like Instagram content, whatever, and I have been. But unless their content aligns with what I'm already doing or trying to do, it doesn't matter. Like, it won't do anything basically.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a weird one.
Yep.
Yeah. The space for growth. Content's good here.
Yep. Yeah. I think there's topics that have not been touched in Japan.
Oh yeah.
That are interesting. That just maybe don't get as many eyes as they should. Like, I think people are making that content, and they're just not being surfaced because other people are getting surfaced much more because they are larger. I think that is true.
That is changing now, which is good.
Which is good. YouTube is changing that algorithm, which is good. Smart.
But then also, sometimes it's just a case of like these people are making content, but the content they're making is shit.
This is also true.
And this is true. Like, I mean, saying YouTube's been pushing like smaller creators onto their main page, and one of my jobs is basically like to find up and coming creators. And I'll be like, wow, look at this, a new Japan-based creator
Please don't, Dan.
I've never seen before. And I'll click on the video and I'm like, oh, this is dog shit. This is why I've never seen you before, because what you're making is like it's not good.
Right.
You know? Like, why are you filming with your Sony Ericsson, bro? Like, what's going on here? Like, ridiculous. But anyway,
all right,
go on.
I'm gonna save one of these questions to the end because I think it's
How many got left?
2 plus the last one.
Oh, excellent. Okay, let's go.
And then one that's like a yes or no.
Oh yeah,
answer.
okay. Easy.
Do you think the heyday of content creation in Japan, which could be argued as the intense interest that spurred in Japan-based creators prior to the borders opening, is behind us, or do you think there's a lot of room for the industry to grow? I think we kind of covered this a little bit.
Still.
It can grow. It's just I think there is something that is like there that's just waiting to hit. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But it's there. Someone's making it, and it's just not hit yet. And when it does,
I've said this before. I'll keep saying it. Good content is good content. If the content you're making is good, it doesn't matter where you're based, what it's about. People will come and watch it. Look at internet historians' videos. They're all it's all good content. Millions of people watch these videos. Why? Because it's fucking good. It's well made. It's well presented. It's well like edited. It's good content. Like it's as simple as that. Like, don't think about things as like washing and waning. Don't think of it as like booming or like trickling down. No, if you're making good content, people are gonna watch it, and it ends there. That's how it works. And if people aren't watching it, if they can't find it, you're not putting it out on enough platforms. Simple as that. So like, if I only put out Instagram content, that's the only place people can find me. What about people that don't use Instagram? How are they gonna find me? But those that don't use podcasts, how are they gonna find me?
It could be, you know, right up their alley.
Oh yeah,
100%. Like if they just never use the thing, like.
This is why when I post,
think of it like exclusive games or like TV shows that only show up on a certain network.
That's what it is.
If you don't have a subscription or don't look at that network ever, it might be the show that like just tickles your fucking G spot.
Yep.
And if
you never
know it was there, you
exactly.
never find it, right?
That's why I feel about a lot of like content creators who only create content on one platform. I'm like, no one's ever gonna know you exist because like you're not putting out this content to a wide enough audience. It's the death of most creators, honestly. Anyway, this space to grow.
This is like more very specific to you question. What would you recommend to someone who's looking to join the industry in Japan today as either a content creator or whatever Jordan does?
Nice. Oh, yeah, I do everything. You need... Fuck me, that's so... For whatever I do, you need a lot of experience. I've had like 6-7 years of like working through various industries. Yeah. You need experience. You can't just sort of dive into this and expect to like know what you're doing. I only got my foot in the door because I was doing like freelance stuff on the side. And that's like how I ended up starting in this like career path. And then it was like a slow build from there. Find out what you want to do in the industry and then start like getting experience with it before you come to Japan and try to like jump into it like head first. Content creating, create content.
Yeah, just do it.
Create content.
Just make it.
Just make it. Create content. Create good content. Like the level's gone up. The content being created now is more high quality. You can no longer, I mean, you can if you want. You can sit in front of a camera and you can be like, what, today I had a bacon sandwich. No one's going to watch you, but that's still creating content. Like, it's now about creating content you enjoy, you have fun making, but also content that's like well planned, highly edited, like interesting to watch, like fun to view. You know what I mean? Like, in terms of like creating content, what you need for it, you need a camera, you need a mic, honestly. That's like, you need some kind of editing software. Like, it's hard. It's not as hard.
You need a better microphone than you do a camera, though.
Yes, you need a better microphone than you do a camera. 100%. You can film on your iPhone. People have. Yeah. People do.
People still do. I've seen people like with million subscriber channels, and people like, "What camera do you use?" And they're like, "I use my iPhone 7."
My iPhone 7. Yeah, but they're using a nice mic.
Right.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
Because you can't be filmed. Bad audio, the death of most videos. We discussed this. It's awful.
Yep. There is nothing where I will watch a video on 160p if it sounds crispy as shit.
Oof, anytime.
But if it sounds god fucking awful, it could be in 4K and I could see your fucking skin pores and I would still not watch that shit. 100% no. It's the death of a lot of videos, honestly.
in regards to making content, find a topic you're interested in,
Mm-hmm.
just start making content on it. If you're interested in the topic, I guarantee 1,000 people are also interested in the topic. So just like start making videos.
Right.
Oh, very important. Don't make content because you think it's the content people want to see. That is the worst way to make content.
Because then you're going to end up making content you don't give a fuck about for people that you think might like it.
Yep. And it's going to go nowhere, literally. Yep. All the videos that I've made that do well on like any channel I've worked for or been on, it's always ones that's like, I think this is interesting, and I make it, and everyone's like, shit was interesting, and I'm like, there we go. Mm-hmm. There we go. Like, anyway, yeah, that's
all
what I think.
Last two. Is around 500,000, so $500,000 USD enough to retire in Japan?
No.
Is $500,000 USD enough to retire
anywhere? No.
Maybe in like a third world country.
Maybe if you plan to live like 3 years or less.
Yeah.
How you gonna pay rent with that, bro? What are you doing? I mean, no.
If you have some kind of passive income that you're still getting after you're retired,
I mean, maybe.
Are you like playing the stock market? Like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna say, like, realistically, to me, $500,000 is not enough. I think like there's like a statistic that says like you need to have like 1.5 million or something. Like it's like there is like a specific statistic that like by X age you should have this much money in an account that you'll not fucking keel over dead.
If you want to know how much money you need for retirement and stuff, there's a Twitter page called RetireJapan_OG.
They put out I saw that today. They put out a thing today.
Yep. That's where you want to look. I follow them. That's where you want to look for like retirement stuff. It's very, very good. They constantly release information about like retirement and blah, blah, blah. So like retirement in Japan specifically. So yeah, that's what you're going to be looking at. Anyway.
There you go. Useful resource for you. Okay. Last question. Oof. And this is maybe a doozy. I don't know. I'm sure you've heard of this because it's been the hot topic this week.
Go on.
Based on recent comments on Twitter and elsewhere, do you think content creation is a difficult job? Is it soul-sucking or as mentally taxing as many creators state it to be?
Depends what you're doing. Honestly, it depends what you're doing. That's a hard one. Yes and no. Honestly, yes and no. It's fuck me. So I've done both. I've played on both sides of it. If there are times where a shoot can last like 2 days and you need to be on for 2 days straight, and it's honestly fucking exhausting. It's draining because everything you're doing is being filmed and you need to make sure you're getting all the shots and stuff. It is very draining just because you're in front of a camera for that long. Is it as taxing as a 9 to 5? Yeah, probably. Honestly, yeah, it can be. Depending on what you're doing, how long you're doing it for, it can be pretty fucking draining. But in saying that, if you're massive, if you're huge, and every month you make one, like PewDiePie. I'm sure it's not as taxing for PewDiePie anymore. He's making like a video or two a month.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's fine. Yeah, I'm sure he's not stressed.
I mean, he's made his mega millions. Right?
Exactly. When he was doing a video a day.
Right.
I'm sure that was a lot more stress. Yeah, you know what I mean? But now I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's untaxing. I think there is, what I say is there is definitely, there's a peak and then it wanes when it comes to creating it's like video content. So at the start, yeah, you're working 2 full-time jobs. You're working your full-time job and then you're working your video full-time job. Because it takes about that long to plan, create, edit, research a video. Yeah, it's a long time.
It's like
16 hours.
Yeah, something. Yeah, like something to like 30 hours.
It's like
a video.
It's like 16 to 30 hours to like make a video. It's a lot of time that goes into this. So like it's a full-time job basically to make like a video make a video come out successfully. And then you get to the peak where depending on how busy you are, you could be editing and making videos every fucking day.
Right.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of stuff to put into it. And then if you gain enough popularity where you have like lifetime subscribers, then it gets easier. Then you can make less videos a month. Then you could do like 1 big series every year, 2, 3 big series every year. Right. Then it gets a little bit easier. And that's for like video creating. If you're streaming, I don't fucking know, dude. I don't stream, so I couldn't say. But depending on what you're doing, if it's anything like being in front of a camera for that long, it can be pretty taxing, honestly.
I'm gonna say there is a lot of. I think it was this specifically came out of Hassan talking about it because like he said something like content creation is more like socially draining and soul sucking than any retail 9 to 5 job.
Oh yeah.
To which I said that's a bunch of horse shit. That is, it's not even fucking close. Because not only like, have you worked a retail job? Because if you're working like any of the retail jobs that I fucking worked, it is back-breaking work, and you have to deal with assholes. I don't know anything more fucking soul-sucking than that.
Dog shit, dude.
And not even like, not even that. It's like, and then you have to deal with anyone that's up above you giving you fucking shit too, right? It's like you're just getting fucked 3 ways to Sunday. And it's not enjoyable in any way, shape, or form. By the time you get home, you're just like, I don't want to fucking see anyone. And him being like, you know, it drains my social battery to stream for 9 hours a day.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm sure it does. Guess what? You make like millions of fucking dollars. Don't stream for 9 hours a day. How about that? Valid. At my 9 to 5 job, I can't just go, you know what? Today, I only feel like 5 hours of work.
Light work
I'm just
today.
gonna
I'm just gonna
go home at 1:30 and fuck you.
That's probably where all the what's it called it? All the pushback comes from.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing about like, oh no, but he controls his own schedule. So yeah. But then the question is, does he control his own schedule, or does the market control his schedule? You know what I mean?
I think he controls his own schedule.
Yeah. People believe that, but like when it comes down to it, it's if he doesn't stream for the amount of time he's streaming for, will he hit the required numbers and money he needs to maintain the life he's currently living?
Here's my question, though. Does he need to stream for 9 hours?
That's my question as well.
Yeah, like,
I don't know.
I don't think he does. Like,
but you don't know though.
To do what he's doing, does he need to stream for 9 hours? Probably not. But most people don't work for 9 hours. What are you doing for 9 hours?
Streaming about stuff. I don't know.
You're talking about shit for 9 hours?
I don't know.
Fuck, man, I'm tired after a 2-hour podcast.
I know.
Fucking 9 hours.
Which explains why he's so tired after a 9-hour like Twitch stream. And that's the thing though. Like with all the, I assume, bills and payments or whatever he has, and I don't know how much he's being paid. Like I can't talk on the back end of that, but maybe that's required. He needs to be streaming for that amount of time in order to.
But I think the thing that he said specifically is it drains his like social battery.
Yeah, because you're gonna be
meaning like
right now,
you don't want to talk to fucking people afterwards.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Okay, if you're having a back and forth conversation with like 30,000 people in chat.
100%. Yeah.
For
9 hours.
9 hours, right? Then yeah, I can understand how you're just like, I don't want to fucking talk to people. But again, I don't think that realistically that's going to impact your bottom line. So like, if you're streaming for 5 hours or you're streaming for 9 hours, are you really having that much more impact doing an extra 4?
Probably. Well, impact in what? Financially, or do you mean?
Yeah, like I don't think that like. Realistically, because of the way that subs work on Twitch, I don't think that streaming an extra 4 hours every time you go on is
it's not just
worth
about
your time.
Subs as well. There's a lot of background stuff that goes into it as well. It's like there's like money that comes from other places as well, depending on what kind of deals and stuff he has looked into it.
I mean, if you have like some kind of ad you have to run, but I don't I don't know if he's running ads
or anything. There are other deals that aren't as deliberate as that, basically. Like there are other like things.
I could understand running a 9-hour stream if you are running ads like every X amount of
I think you have
minutes,
to like
whatever. Then I would just fucking leave my stream on 24 hours a day. Why would I turn it off?
They canceled that or something, right?
Right? At that point it becomes like, okay, you're streaming for 9 hours a day. Why don't you just leave it on for 12?
Because no one's gonna watch if you're not there.
He leaves half the time anyway.
He's like pissed. He's not leaving for like 12 hours.
No, he's not leaving for 12 hours, but he's leaving frequently enough that like it's a fucking meme.
No, that's just funny. That's why he goes like fucking take a shit and whatever or whatever. He's like watching the stream when he's gone. He's not like left the stream. You know what I mean? But like, it's what's the word? It's you couldn't just leave it running. But like I assume that for whatever reason, that's the amount of time he has to run for. Knowing what I know about how this stuff in the back end works. that's kind of like how long he's decided that he has to stream in order to like maintain the quality of life he's living or whatever. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know the dude. Not spoke
Right,
to him.
yeah,
I don't
exactly,
know
right.
his back end enough to know what goes on there. But from like a YouTube side, like for example, I'll put it this way: like people go, "I'm gonna be a YouTuber." That's my last point. I'm gonna be a YouTuber because when I'm a YouTuber, I'll work for myself and I won't need any. No one's gonna tell me what to do. Fucking what? It's called sponsors, you dumbass. Yeah, they are gonna tell you what the fuck to do. When you get the little like 6-second ad in the video that goes, "Hey, buy this thing," you think the sponsors are on your fucking ass writing you to get that done? I've had like videos come out where the sponsorship in the video has taken like 3 months to go through, and then even then it's been like rejected like 4, 5, 6 times, and that's being rejected and you doing like work over and over again. You can cry about it. You're gonna pee and shit yourself. No, you can get it fucking done. You can whine about it. You still get it done. Like, unless you are the big boss of a multinational corporation or you own your own company,
Right.
there will always be someone above you telling you to shut the fuck up and get the work done. It's just you've moved from working that 9 to 5 to like doing video creation instead. You move from like shitty corporate life to like more of a passion project, which is good. So a lot of like YouTubers and streamers and people, they don't openly say like this is as hard or at times as hard as working in like a 9 to 5 or whatever, because they realize that the opportunity they have to work something they actually generally like doing isn't worth complaining about. But I guess like at the moment, Hassan was like, I get really tired of social battery.
It's
and then
weird.
he was probably clip
It's
chipped.
weird to see how much pushback from other creators there was, though, as well. From like other streamers, YouTubers and stuff. They're just like, immediately we're like, we do the same job as you. That's horseshit.
Oh, I don't trust. Listen, any streamer who instantly jumps on a clip chimp and they're like, "Oh, I think actually, you know,"
I don't know if they're clip chimping, but just like, just specifically commenting on what he said as far as like social battery, to where like other people are like, I run YouTube, I do the same job as you, and I run a company. Running the company is infinitely more fucking difficult.
Oh, of course
than
it is.
Anything I do online.
Yeah, of course it is. I found I'm looking at people's comments. This guy makes shit up for 9 hours a day, and his commute to work is walking. To his
Shit like that. That's like from fucking Joe Schmo. Like, who gives a fuck? I'm talking like
this is a creator.
Who?
This is some dickhead with 26.5.
Oh, it's Willie Mack. Yeah,
I don't know who this is.
I've seen him because he talks shit about us on a lot.
There we go. There are people that are just on his dick for no reason. I find it very strange. Like I assume if I did like a deep dive, I could find other people who've said the same thing, and no one cared about it. No one said anything about it, because it's Hassan and Hassan's big, and he like streams for so long. People get, I don't know. People get a little bit salty. People get a little bit jealous of his fame. They feel like he doesn't deserve it. They feel like he doesn't deserve the attention, the eyes he has. Because when it comes down to it, he's bigger than most people. He's one of the biggest streamers on the platform. He's one of the biggest streamers on the platform.
Sure, yeah.
That's what I'm not saying. I'm saying he's the biggest. I'm saying he's one.
No, he's not. He's definitely not.
Oh
the biggest,
not by long, but he's one of the biggest. Yeah, but people don't like it. People don't feel he deserves the spot he has. So anything he does, he gets like.
I think it's most people just feel like it comes off as ungrateful.
I mean, not really. The way I think from the clip the little part of the clip I did see, I think there was a longer version where he was basically saying like, he just has like he was telling a story, I think, about him being at a party and him being tired because it was streaming for 9 hours and feeling bad about it because
those were two different clips. Because
no,
I've seen
it's one clip.
No, I've seen there's the clip where it's on his stream, and then there's a clip that he's talking about. The story you're talking about is from his podcast.
It's a podcast?
Yes, where he's talking about going to the party, and he's talking with 2 other people.
That's on his stream.
No,
it was. I'll show you. That was his stream.
I'm telling you, I've seen 2 completely different videos where he talks.
Maybe he stole the story twice, but the smaller. I'll show you.
The clip that I've seen from his stream where he's in his room.
Yeah.
He's talking about, oh, after I stream for 9 hours, my social batteries, blah blah blah. And then there's the stream from his podcast where 2 other people are there, and he's talking about a story where he's at a party and he's like, I don't want to fucking talk to people after I've streamed for like 9 hours.
Yeah,
it's the same like overarching thing, but it's 2 different.
Is he
clips.
in his room both clips?
No.
Okay, then
One is in a studio with 2 other people, and one
I've
is
not
in
seen
his
that
room.
clip.
Yeah.
I've not seen him in the studio. The only clip
Okay.
I've seen is that one of him saying
Him in his room.
him being in his room saying that he was at a party and he was tired for being off stream. So
Yeah.
he's basically told the story twice, but the podcast version wasn't clipped. They clipped the one from the stream.
Yes.
So
that's the one I've seen the most.
Because that's the one they clipped. They clipped that part and basically was like, Hassan said this thing, but it's like, no, he was telling an entire story about the fact that he was tired from a party and he'd been streaming for 9 hours and he felt bad about having to go home early because he was like looking at his phone or something the entire time, and he was like, sorry guys, I have to dip. And they were like, oh, Hassan said that the stream is harder, and it's like, it's not what happened. Like he was having an emotional story.
I don't even think he said that streaming was harder.
No, probably not. But this is what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
because he's begging people for I was saying the videos really entertaining because like he believes people, because people believe that he doesn't deserve the fame he deserves for whatever reason. He gets like shit likes all the time. It's silly. But do I think it's harder? I think it's a job, and I think all jobs are hard. Honestly, I don't think there is any job I would want to do that isn't
the
difficult.
question specifically is like, is content creation a difficult job?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
I mean, yeah.
It depends, like,
Yeah.
on what level are we talking at? Are we talking, like, top level? Then most definitely.
Yeah, it's a difficult job.
Are we talking about, like, guy who has, like, 200 subscribers? Yeah, it's still hard. You're maybe not recognized at all for your hard work if you work hard at it, but it's
still hard,
you
yeah.
gotta
But it's
put
still
the
pretty
time
difficult. I would never say it's not
in. Is
difficult.
it soul-sucking or mentally taxing?
Depends.
That I'm kind of like...
Mentally taxing,
I
how
don't
thick
know.
is your skin, and can you stand the entire internet shitting on you for small mistakes?
Literally anything.
Literally anything. You edit this thing badly, you're gonna get shit on. Like,
Right.
Because in creating content, you're putting yourself at the forefront of the internet. You're putting your face out there. Even if you don't put your face out there, you're putting yourself out and you're being like, hey, well, this is me, these are my opinions. And you're giving people open right to like basically shit on you. So like, is it soul crushing? Could be. Is it mentally taxing? Yeah, of course it is. You're creating stuff, putting out there, and people are saying your shit. Like it is what it is basically. Like, is it as soul crushing as a 9 to 5?
I think in that regard, especially on like that type of like level, like Hassan, Pokimane, XQC, like the people who are at the top, right?
Yeah, that's terrible.
I don't think it even matters to some extent what you fucking say, because someone at that point, the critical mass is so big that no matter what you say, someone's gonna tell you you're a fucking idiot.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you're done.
Whether it's deserved or
it doesn't
not.
matter. No,
They're just gonna be like, you're fucking wrong, you're fucking stupid, fuck you.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
You get to a high enough level, and all you're gonna get is negativity. Like, I think there's one creator, and he turned all the comments off in his videos because he was like, I just don't care anymore. He's like, it's stupid. Like, there's no point me like siphoning through all these.
Well,
comments.
I mean, YouTube comments are fucking useless anyway.
Honestly,
but
garbage. Yeah. But yeah, it's if this is a question of like, maybe I want to go into content creating, do you think I should or whatever? Then if you have the mental capacity to do it, go for it. And if you think, I think I said this online to someone, if you think that creating content isn't as taxing as the current job you're doing or something,
right,
go and make
would you rather be doing that instead?
Yeah.
Then if that's the case,
go.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just go do it.
If you think it's not as taxing, go do it. Make a video, put it out, see how it goes. Like, legitly. Like, see how long it takes you, plan it, script it, make the video, record it, edit it, put it up, see how it goes. Like, honestly, I think that's the best thing to do. And if
Right.
because somewhere along that line, you're going to realize, oh, this shit's hard. I don't want to do this.
I think it comes down a lot to perspective, because like for me personally, I see what streamers are doing on like that surface level, and I'm like, what the fuck are you complaining about? Like, this is not even remotely close to as bad as working any retail job. Like, you sat in front of a computer and talked to people for 9 hours, 5 hours, like
Whatever,
regardless of however, or you're playing video games for a living. Like, how fucking hard? Like, that is not hard, right? So I look at that and go like, when someone says, "Oh, it's the worst job ever. It's so soul sucking," I'm like, "Oh my god, you fucking like."
I don't think anyone said that, but yeah.
Get a fucking grip.
I mean, no one said it was the worst show. It's soul sucking, but yeah, it's
right. Like, But from that perspective, I understand why people are just like, dude, shut the fuck up.
No, I
Like,
get it.
you make millions of dollars, you sit in your house,
I think
and you stream online, and that's it, right?
that's definitely the idea. It's like you stream online, you make millions of dollars, but there's always like, for me personally, I'm always like, sounds like you fucking salty bitch. Like, alright, cool, because like I saw that clip and I was like, okay, cool, and I moved on with my life, and then I was like, backlash is happening. Oh, people are mad that you said this thing, and I was like, y'all really you're showing your whole hand, aren't you? You're clearly very salty that he's doing something that you perceive to be easy and you want to do, and so you're mad about it because you're not where you want to, you're not where you want to be, and you think he doesn't deserve what he is. I've never streamed before. I'm not gonna see this guy streaming and say it's easy and go, fuck you. Like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Like, you're protesting a little bit too strongly there, my guy.
There's a lot of microcosms of shit that happen to get people to where they are right now. Like, I feel like any of the people who are popular at the top now, that literally could have been anyone else.
Could be.
Had they made the same or similar choices at the time, like, I feel like had any other people that are doing content creation now, who are doing like good, who are small but doing good content creation now, started when people like PewDiePie or whoever at the same time, they would be just as big or have crashed like exponentially. Like, it could have
either way,
right? So I feel like there's an extreme amount of luck to where people got to where they are.
Everyone's
But the fact that they can maintain it means they're doing something right.
That exactly.
And if they weren't able to do that, they would have crashed and burned a long time ago.
100%.
And I think that's why a lot of people now are kind of like they're seeing the, not the pushback, but they're seeing like things around the edges start to go.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh, that shit ain't hitting as hard as it used to. What do I do, right?
Yeah.
Like, do I do anything different? Or, like, maybe I don't do anything different.
Honestly, yeah.
You know? Or do I just put up with it? Or do I quit? Like,
it's silly. Like, I think a lot of people there's a lot of, like, wannabe creators who get really emotional, I would say, about these situations. And from the mind, I'm always like, yeah, is there like an element of luck that comes into this? Of course there is.
100%.
How could there not be? There's an element, but there's also like a, what's the word? Not dedication, the other one. Consistency is also essential. Like, you can't not create videos. You can't not be part of like that social like network system, and then be like, I'm mad at this person.
Say what you want about Hassan, about how easy his job is.
He on it.
He shows up every time, and he does 9 hours every time, right?
Exactly.
Like, maybe he could do 5, but he shows up every time and does 9. And does he bitch about it? Maybe. But do you bitch about 9 to 5? That's his prerogative, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. That's what I mean. Like, it's there's a consistency to it that you need to do in order to get to a level of fame. Like, yeah, I could. Fucking John down the road could have been as famous as PewDiePie. You know what the difference is? PewDiePie put a video out every day for like 9 years or something. Something crazy like that. Did you do that, John? You fucking didn't. Shut the fuck up. Oh, I could have played Happy Wheels in the Dark. But did you? You no, didn't. You Shut the fuck up. You didn't do anything.
John might have been 10 at the time.
John, you can grow the fuck up, man. It's not my fault you were born late, dumbass. Right, yeah. Be born sooner, dickhead.
That's the thing too. I wonder about young creators sometimes. I'm like, had they been like 10 years older, would they be even bigger than where they are?
The thing is, this is like PewDiePie 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 15 years ago wasn't as big as he is now because it was like X amount of years ago. Give it time. These people will eventually grow. Old creators are like leaving the platforms. There's space for new ones to come in. There's always space for newer creators. Like every time, there's always space for it.
Yeah, it's always interesting on YouTube finding a channel that has 1 million subscribers and you're like, who the fuck is this?
I've seen that so many times.
Who the fuck is this?
So many fucking times. There are so many kids I just don't know about.
It's definitely like people like you don't hear about, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Oh, they have 1 million. Like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah. There are people that like I work with now that I'm like, I didn't know you existed until like 3-4 months ago. I'm like,
and somehow you have like 500K subs or something.
One has 1 million, and I'm like, where have you been? Have I never seen your content? It's because your content isn't for me.
Right.
It's not aimed at me. It's not been pushed to me. But here you are making amazing content.
Or they're not being like weird fucking drama farmers that get clicks, right?
Yeah,
like,
literally. Like it's a weird one, honestly.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people need to spend less time like looking what other people are doing, like focusing on their own shit. Like that's like my thing. Like guys, 2024, focus on your own shit. Like I guarantee you'll do way better. Like this can be your year, but you need to like fucking knuckle down, focus on your shit, ignore the drama around you, and like work out what you need to do, make yourself an attack plan to get it done. Just get it done. That should be like financial year starting from March, Japanese new financial year, or from April. It's time. Let's get it done, boys.
Yep. I think that's true. Like, whether Hassan's take is hot or not, like, is irrelevant to what you're doing.
Exactly.
Because, like,
exactly.
Whether it's soul sucking or not, if you really want to do it, you're gonna do it.
You're gonna do it. So like, it's not my fault you work in fucking Wendy's. Grow up. Get a better job. What the fuck you want from me? Like, stupid. Like, don't be annoying. But anyway, thanks for the questions, guys.
Mm-hmm.
These are good questions. All right, boys. I'm gonna go to a cafe in a station. I think the station is called like Higashi or like Nishi Nagasaki. It's like in Tokyo. I know it's a weird one. I'll let you know about it next week.
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I gotta go and check it out. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go to a cafe. I'm gonna see you guys next week. Thanks for all the questions. I hope we answer them. If we didn't,
you can send in more.
Send them in the Discord. We're always happy to have a little question time every week if that's what you guys
are into.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I specifically asked for questions this time because I wanted the questions. But yeah, it's like
anytime we're down for answer questions, guys.
Yep.
But yeah, join the
Have a
Discord.
question segment.
Yeah, literally. Join the Discord. Hit us up. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all the good stuff. But until then, see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.